as we were saying.
What were we talking about?
I was talking about how I got to know you and how we
Okay.
became friends on social media.
Right.
For anybody that doesn't know, this is Lindsay.
Lindsay Mac.
She is an amazing photographer.
Thank you.
Also a mom of 4.
4.
How old are they?
They're old.
Nothing.
You're going to age me. No,
I'm not.
So my oldest is 21.
Okay.
First 2 months of drinking age. So it's kind of been interesting watching her, go out to eat and get a margarita.
Yeah.
This is weird.
Yeah.
And then 18. No, 19.
Okay.
19.
And that's the one that just went to college, right?
She's in freshman year of college. And then 16.
Okay.
Junior in high school. And
So she driving?
14. Not yet, but we are working on it. The want is there.
Yeah.
We need the time.
Yes.
And just the repetition.
Yes, for sure.
There's a lot of crazy drivers.
Oh, 100%.
And I-35 is not allowed right now.
Yeah, well.
So I don't even want to go on it.
967, 1626. It depends on the time of day.
True. Yes. Lots of factors as to which road you want to take.
All questionable.
Yes.
It's so funny. I was talking to somebody else about this, and when you said she has the desire, how many 16-year-olds don't want to drive because they have like this whole
I would say at least half.
Yeah, they have like a built-in Uber, so like there's like no desire to learn to drive and go through it.
It's a whole different playing field from like when we were younger. Like I was at the DMV on my 16th birthday.
Yes.
Ready to get my license at 8 a.m.
Yes.
And now there's kids graduating from high school that don't have their license.
Yes.
Which
yeah.
Why not? Don't you want freedom? Don't you want to go places?
Yeah, I don't understand. Like these parents just become like a glorified Uber for their kid until I guess they leave the house, if they leave the house. But I'm like, that was like such a milestone, and now kids just don't have, and I just can't wrap my head around it, why they don't have the desire for it.
I don't know. I think kids are just staying in more too.
Yeah.
I mean,
we
always wanted to just go.
Yeah.
Like, just be
well,
anywhere but home.
And it's funny too because I had this discussion with somebody else. Is like we were the kids that got dropped off at the mall.
Oh yeah,
for hours.
Oh, for sure.
And now I'm like, I would never do that. Like, what were my parents thinking? I'm not dropping or the movie theaters. We would just get dropped off, and it'd be a group of friends and stuff. And now I'm like, no, you're gotta be in my eyesight. Like, so it's different how And then we talked about this before that. Your kids all played with each other on the block, and you knew where they were based off of the bicycles in the yard and stuff. And now you don't have any of that. Yeah. It's just like they're either on their phones or video gaming or something. I joked with the parent that I pay for my kids to do football training when like I did soccer training for free because I was outside playing all the time. Like I gotta pay someone to get my kid out of the house.
I know. We definitely spent a lot more outdoor hours as teens.
Yes.
I rode a bicycle. I mean, until I could drive, I was riding my bike around the neighborhood.
Yes.
And we had a neighborhood pool, and that's where everyone hung out. And, it's just different.
Yeah.
It's just different now.
Yeah. I mean, we used to have a lot of kids ride their bikes to school, and you don't even really see that.
Yeah, especially elementary.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. At Barton, my son goes to Barton, and I feel like in the better weather, I do see a lot of kids. Yeah. Plum Creek's literally right across the street.
I'll see them like kamikaze down in the ditch and stuff. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know how safe that is.
Yeah. But then, like some of the schools, they just don't, they're just not very close. They're not close enough
Well, and
anymore.
I think it's interesting because I'm originally from California. So a lot of the schools there, they're built in like subdivisions. They become like the center point of the subdivision. And here, a lot of them are built on these major like farm, to market roads or ranch roads. And I'm like, there's so much traffic. Even if you could ride your bike, I don't know if you should,
Oh, right.
So I don't know.
Anyone riding their bike on some of these roads, even though it's allowed, is scary.
Yes.
I wish all roads had a bike lane.
Yes. And like those like plastic things to keep people out of the bike lane, because and would also contain the bikers because sometimes they think they own the whole road.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not how it goes.
I mean, I'm totally willing to share, right?
Yes.
That's fine.
Yes.
But you need to comply to the rules
right,
too.
Right,
Don't
right.
be just busting through stop signs.
Yes,
If you want to be a car.
Yes. Or when they, the light barely starts to turn, not even turning green, and they're, already in the intersection. I'm like, get back. Just wait your turn. I see you there. I'm going to give you space, just like a motorcycle, give space, but also stay on your part of it,
Exactly.
So, 4 kids.
4.
Okay, so 14.
I've wound up you.
I know. Well, my husband almost conned me into a 4th.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, I need this story.
So we had plans to always have 2.
Okay.
And we're literally on the way to the hospital to have Avery, who's my middle child. And Chad's like, how do you feel about a 3rd? And I said, dude, she's not physically
even out yet.
She hasn't left my body yet. We're having to go evict her because she's a day late. It's a whole process, So every nurse that came in, he's like, how many do you have? How many do you have? They're all like 3, 4. I'm like, y'all are fired. Get out of my sight. I don't want to see you. So she finally comes out and stuff. And it was about a year later. Chad's like, I think she'd be perfect as a middle child. I think we should have 3. And then he tells me this sad sob story he heard on the morning show of Bobby Bones one day. Driving into work about some sibling that lost their sibling, and then their parents passed, so they had no family. And I was like, well, that is traumatizing.
For sure.
And so he's like, so we need a 3rd. So they have each other. And I'm like, okay. So we decided to have a 3rd. And when it came time to planning, because I had all kinds of issues, the doctor was like, okay, do you want another August baby? Because both the 2 are August.
Okay.
I was like, absolutely not.
No.
Do I look insane to you? So he's like, well, do you want to do September or October? And I'm like, I'm not being pregnant through Texas summer at peak.
The worst.
No. Unless I got a pool in my backyard, you're not going to see me because that's where I'm going to live. And he's like, okay, well, how about June or July? And I said, well, that will work. Well, Aiden is a Father's Day baby, June 18th.
Okay.
And so then Aiden right around starts to turn 2. Chad's like, what do you think about a 4th? I said, nope, we're good. We're good. He was the easiest baby, but I was like, we're good. And then I started to have issues and then had to have a partial hysterectomy. And so I joked that even the kids are like, can we, Mom, have another kid? I was like, I got no oven.
Yeah.
I got no oven. It gone,
Can't happen.
No. So I commend you for having 4 because, 3, they're fun. And from what all my friends say that have more, they're like, oh, it gets easier. I was like, you probably just lower your expectations and standards.
You just hit a point where you're like, is it any different? You just keep adding.
Right.
I always knew I wanted to not only have one child because I grew up by myself. I have 2 half sisters, but we didn't live together. And so I was always kind of lonely as a kid, I guess, because I didn't really have anyone to play with. And so I was like, I want 3 to 4 children.
Mm-hmm.
And my first 3 were all girls. So this is why I have 4. Because I was like, maybe I'll have a boy.
Yeah.
Got a boy.
Yes.
I was not expecting. I honestly thought I would have 4 daughters. Because I'm like, I guess just girls aren't going to happen for me. Or boys not going to happen for me. Yeah. So, but so then once that happened, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Done.
3 girls I have 1 girl, and I can't imagine if I had 2 girls. You have 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, a lot of personality.
Yes. And they're all so different.
Yes.
So very different. Not one of them is like the other.
Yeah.
Luckily, though, even though there's always going to be some teenage girl drama.
Yes.
In life and in the house, at school, whatever. I feel like overall I've been pretty lucky.
Yeah.
It's nothing crazy.
Yeah. And that's what I always say. The difference between boys and girls is girls, it's more emotional. It's dramatic.
Right.
You don't hear about the boys having fights with their friends. They forget about it 30 seconds later. And then they're like, okay, you want to go play video games? We're good.
Yeah.
Or you want to hang out with me again? Yeah, we're good. It's girls, it carries on forever and ever and just turns into something huge.
And then we turn into women.
Yes.
And maybe we're the same. I don't know.
My block list is pretty high, so. Access denied.
I love that. I know. I've seen people are like, okay, I'm going to do a cleaning of my page. If you're still here, congratulations.
Yes. It was so funny. It was a memory that popped up on my Facebook. I think it was yesterday. I was reading it, and I was like, I'm about to Maria Kondo my list. If you don't bring me joy, be gone with you.
Right.
And so yeah, it was. I mean, my favorite button right now is unfollow. Just like when you're posting something crazy, unfollow. It's like, and it's a tricky thing because you're still friends with them, but you don't see they're crazy.
That's true. It's just kind of like, close the door on that.
Yes. I'm like, I just can't handle that right now. Like maybe I will, but not right now. Right. There's only so much crazy I can handle. So
that's fine.
Yeah. Now 14. What is he into?
I mean, he's a gamer.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
He did a little bit of like flag football.
Yeah.
He wasn't a fan of the contact.
Yeah.
Which is fine with me because no concussions there.
Right.
So,
oh my gosh.
But yeah, he definitely enjoys gaming.
Okay.
I still don't know much about video games.
See, and I think the video games were different. Like I was playing, what was it? Super Mario Brothers. Was that like something?
Super Mario Brothers.
Yes. I mean, my first game was duck hunting. What is it?
Duck hunt?
Yes.
With the gun? Yeah. Did you have one of those like running pads?
Yes.
I would like, I was like, how fast could I do this? And I would like get on the ground and just like bang my hands, or I would like hold on to something and just like run my feet as fast as I could.
Well, and then there was Paperboy.
That
was a good one too. Yeah. I loved that one, and the dog would chase you down and stuff.
I mean, I was kind of obsessed with the old school Tetris. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes.
I would play that for hours.
Yes, which is funny. We just
on the Nintendo. Yes. Like turn your shape. Let it go.
We just talked about that on the last one with Michelle.
Oh, yeah?
That there's, I guess, an app that is like the modern day version of it. And she's just like, I get sucked into that thing. I'm like, yeah, I got sucked into Tetris years ago. So
know what that app is.
But then remember, it was like you had to like blow the console and make sure like the game before you put it in, because if it collected any dust, it would have a glitch and stuff. It was like the things kids nowadays don't have to worry about.
I know. I need a VCR.
Oh.
I need to get a VCR because I have these VHS tapes from college, high school, and I'm like, I kind of want to watch that again.
Have you showed them to your 14-year-old?
The tape itself?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I've actually said, do you know what this is? I should probably
be a social
see
experiment.
if he can figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen those videos where people are like, give the kids like just an old phone, like a rotary phone.
And they're pushing it.
And they're like they don't even pick up the receiver.
No.
Yeah.
So. When like I remember prior to having a cell phone, because we really didn't have cell phones until we were older, like when we were driving. And so when you would get dropped off at the, the mall or you would call collect and you would like say your name real fast, like, or say, come get me. So you didn't have to pay. My parents knew. Okay, she's good to go. Like,
I know.
Now you can't even find a pay phone.
I know. And the phones we had, I mean, they were huge.
Yes.
It was a brick, and all we could literally do is make a phone call.
Yes. And then if you wanted a text, you would have to push like the button so many times to get like the letter correctly, and then you would do like, what was it, a 3 and something else to make a heart, and just so you get all creative and stuff. People would play Snake and everything, and it's like these kids are spoiled. They don't realize. Like I had an antenna.
How long it took us to text.
Yes.
I mean, it was the shortest text ever. Like,
yes.
Hi.
And it took you 5 minutes.
How are you? I mean, that's why we have all these abbreviations. I
guess,
yes.
Right. Now, you are an amazing photographer. Like I'm a huge fan of yours, and I constantly see your work, and it amazes me. Like, not only are you like an expert in newborns, and I've been told you're the baby whisperer.
I do love babies.
Yes.
So
I mean, you have 4.
Yes.
But like, you decided to, like, I just texted you, we were doing glitter sessions. I was like, girl, you're brave. You're brave.
Yeah. So the glitter ones go back and forth.
Yeah.
Between, am I going to do them this year? Am I not going to do them this year? So years ago, it used to be real messy.
Yeah. Because it's
I
the
probably
finest
still
glitter.
have glitter from 10 years ago somewhere. Because yes, I would use it's not the smallest glitter, but it's still small glitter, and we would throw it. It would be in everyone's hair. It would be on everywhere in your ears. I mean, you're finding it in between your toes for days. And then I got smart about it probably about 3 or 4 years ago, and I'm like, okay, what can I use that kind of looks like glitter, but maybe isn't as scary as glitter?
Yeah.
So I'm using like confetti.
Oh.
So like little foil.
Okay.
Confetti.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So cute.
And then I also add glitter in Photoshop.
Yes.
To give it that extra sparkle.
Yes.
Because, honestly, I could add all the glitter in Photoshop. But, I still want there to be that element of the fun for the kids.
Yeah.
And they're still, dancing around in it and playing in it.
Oh, my gosh. Do you provide the outfits, too?
I do. I have been collecting these little dresses.
Look at them.
For years. And
oh, she is so cute.
It's mainly girls. I've had maybe 1 or 2 boys, but they come in and they just can't wait to have their turn, and they can do little like glitter angels, or we do a lot of spinning, turning, blowing, throwing. Sometimes it takes multiple attempts just to get it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they tend to be very small in there.
Yeah. So when you have you're like an assistant with a leaf blower.
Oh, that's smart. Maybe I should bring my industrial size fan. Yeah. All right, girls. No, we might have too many dress shots that way, though. We don't want that to happen. Yeah.
So. You would definitely get like the Beyonce hair with the fan, though.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah. It's funny. I went to the CMT Awards one year, and I was in. It's so funny when you go and you see like behind the scenes of like televised awards. So
2 years ago.
So did I. And remember when the confetti dropped after Kelsey Ballerini, and then they're like, clear the set, and they brought all these leaf blowers.
Yes. Yeah, I was like, wow, I had no idea how that was done.
I was like, that's how they clear the stage so quickly. And so they're telling everybody like, cover your eyes, leaf blower.
Yes, I do remember that now.
Yeah. So you could use that to clean up the confetti real fast. Maybe just open the door and blow it out.
Smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like biodegradable.
Maybe I can figure something out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now the glitter sessions are still fun.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't have to go home with it for weeks.
They're very mindful, very demure.
Yes. Plus, I want to be safe, and sometimes
I
the
think
little
it's in
glitter
the eye
would
or
get in
something.
the eye,
Yeah.
or like they would eat it somehow. Like they're trying to blow out, but they're sucking in, and
that's not shock me what kids stick in their mouths.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
Look at she is like the expert in babies.
Oh my gosh, those are some really old photos there.
James.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. They are so cute. How many newborns do you say you shoot? Not shoot, photograph.
I know, we just say shoot all the time.
A year.
Gosh. I try to like count every year and say how many I've done. I would say on average, maybe 60 to 80.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I'm kind of interested. I don't think I counted how many I did last year, but
yeah,
I should keep a count.
I wonder if like post-COVID, if you had like a huge spike because people were home doing things. All kinds of things.
I mean, there was.
Look at that.
A little bit more that came out after everyone was getting out of the house again. Mm-hmm. But COVID was weird. I mean, it took a little while to kind of really get back.
Yeah.
I would say 21 was probably a decent year for newborns. 22 for sure.
Yeah. I just saw this meme the other day. Well, it was like around Valentine's Day, and it's like, if you were born in November, it's because your parents enjoyed Valentine's Day. And so I'm a November birthday, and I sent it to both my parents. I was like, y'all got some explaining to do.
I know.
I never put the math together until that moment.
I do have a lot of fall newborns.
Yeah.
That is the busiest time for me.
Which is like
October.
As you're amping up for Christmas minis and all of that.
Right. But I mean, you're thinking like it was cold months.
Yep.
People were maybe inside more.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know.
Yes.
It's weird. Some months I'll have just a few newborns, and then some months I'll have multiple every week. You know? And so you just never know.
Well, and as a former photographer, and I did newborns take a lot of time.
They do.
And it's exhausting when you're done because it's a lot of up and down, and molding the baby. And it's got to be warm in there, and the shushing noise. Like, I've legit had dads fall asleep in the newborn studio.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've had moms fall asleep.
Yeah.
It's to me, it's cozy.
Yes.
I like it warm, though. I don't like being cold. I hate being cold.
Me too. See, we're the same. We're like the same sisters from another mister.
How is that?
I don't know.
I'm like at home. I'm just in my sweatshirt.
Oh, yeah. I have on my bed a heated mattress pad.
I have a heated blanket.
And then
every night I turn it on.
And then I have a weighted blanket.
I don't have a weighted, but I do have multiple blankets.
Yes.
Because literally my favorite part of the day is knowing I'm about to get in that warm bed.
Yes.
And I think every time I get in bed, I go,
yes, it's so nice and relaxing. It's a game changer.
So we could share a bed.
100%. Yeah, I become like a burrito or taquito. It's like I'm toasted in there. And then my husband's so hot. He just is like, "How can you?" I'm like, "Stay on your side. You don't need to cross this line. Stay over there."
Yeah. So you have a heated mattress pad?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was considering getting one of those. Mine is just a blanket over the top right now.
Oh, it's the best thing. Okay. Amazon. But it's like every time I do one of these, I'm selling someone on something.
Get you an affiliate link.
But and then my blanket's not really a weighted blanket. It's like some also like fur blankets.
Okay.
So it's a giant fur blanket, but it's got some weight to it.
I have a heavy fur blanket at home.
Yes. It's like my husband's like, okay, you and your fur and all your layers and stuff. But it has two sides to it. So like he obviously has no control panel on his because he never turns his on. And then mine is heated. So
I think I might have to invest in one of those.
It is and then
does it have a timer?
Yes. So it starts out at 8 hours, which is perfect for you.
Yes. What are you, a 3-hour one? I mean, how does that work?
It's like I come back to it later and it's still toasty. But we could do 8 hours. I think it goes up to 12.
Nice.
Yeah. But so you could even, and then, my Christmas gift, speaking of warmth, my husband got me a towel warmer.
Oh.
So it's it looks like it could be perfect for your studio.
Okay,
tell me more. To warm the blankets up. So it's like a bucket thing, and it has a lid, and you push the button, and you roll up your towels and your blankets and stuff. And there even you can put like discs, and it smells like lavender.
Oh.
And it can warm up to 40 minutes before you have to hit the button again.
Okay.
And I stick the towel in there, and I get out, and it's a nice, warm, cozy towel. So it starts the whole night off right.
Yes.
And then there's a whole nother level. I have this mask that I'm sure
I have
the
one.
Massaging
it's
one
like Renfo or something. Yes. And sorry, I'm bumping things.
No, but it's
the ball smooth.
Yes.
And then it heats.
Yes.
And then it plays music.
Oh yes, it's so nice. It's
my gosh.
Nice.
Okay, I think we have the same routine. Okay, so do you shower at night?
Yes.
So do I.
I cannot go to bed with.
I have to go to bed clean.
Yes. I don't know how people go to bed with makeup on or anything.
This is funny.
Yes, we're like the same person. Yes.
Okay.
And then I even have like a furry robe. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. But it sets the tone. But you could get one of those for the studio to warm up blankets and stuff for the babies and everything.
Yeah, so
or
they'll
even
just be all cozy.
Or even their little outfits and stuff or their swaddles.
Smart.
Mm-hmm. But you have to have all the warmth in that studio to keep them content.
Right.
And it's crazy what people don't realize too, I'm sure, when you book sessions, that they don't notice, aren't in tune to the importance of the timing. Like a newborn is sleepy for only so long.
Right.
And then they just want to eat. And then you're not getting them to sleep.
Yes.
And your 3-hour, 4-hour session turns into 8.
I think the longest newborn session I've ever done was about 5.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Not something I like to do or want to do.
It's exhausting.
Normally, if we've hit 3 hours and it's just not going well, I'll just call it and say we just need to try again another day. But this particular family was from far. Like probably over an hour and a half. And I'm like, we have to just push through.
Yeah.
Like we need to just take whatever time. If we need to take 30 minutes to just sit here and get this baby fed and asleep, we're going to do it. Because I'd rather spend that than spend 3 more hours fighting this tired, cranky, fussy, gassy. I mean, babies have days just like we do.
Yep.
Like
100%.
They don't feel good.
No. And they are very in tune, too, if it's a new environment, too.
Right.
So I don't think people take that in consideration as well, you know. So it's a very precious window to get them in to get the best outcome out of it all.
Right.
And and my favorite part when I did New Orleans was not only like in real estate, you get to know the families and whatnot, but you hear like these birth stories.
Oh yeah, I love birth stories.
It's like a snowflake. Never two are the same. Like I had one where the baby was born in the entryway of the hospital.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I had one where she didn't know she was pregnant. And her husband worked in the oil industry, and she thought she was just having like colon issues and whatnot. Went into the hospital, and they're like, "Your colon's fine. You're pregnant, and you're in labor." She's like, "What?" And so I guess she had some, female things that she didn't know she could get pregnant. And so she called him. He was in the oil industry. So he's out in an oil fields. He hightails, I don't even know how fast he was going to get back to like basically get there after the fact, but we incorporated his muddy boots from him coming from the oil field. They're like, those need to be in the photo. Like
that is so
yeah,
crazy.
It's just I had one where she had 2 kids prior, and they were planned inductions.
Okay.
And so she didn't understand like what labor felt like. So she's like, I'm kind of feeling some pain. Let's go into the hospital.
Yeah.
And so on the way there, her husband's like, should we stop and get gas? She's like, let's just go. So he goes to drop her off at the front, parks the vehicle. He goes upstairs, and they're like, you ready to cut the cord? Baby was born in the elevator on the way up. And so she's like, he was so bummed he missed it. And I was like, yeah, you stopped for gas, he would have been front and center, like delivering a kid on the side of the highway. So it's like the stories you hear, I'm like, they're so fascinating to me.
I know, like every mom that comes in, I always want to know like how was the birth, you know? So I'm like, you never know how they're gonna react. Like, it was great, it was traumatic. I mean, you just never know which way it's gonna go, but it's like, I'm curious. And I like want to know everyone's birth story.
It's always so fascinating. And it's funny too, because it's like in the very beginning when I started, how breastfeeding was just this thing you really didn't talk about. Now it's so welcomed and stuff, and it should be. And so they would ask me like, is it fine if I breastfeed? I'm like, boob's a boob. They all look the same. Do you? The baby's got to eat. I'm not going to stop you from feeding this baby. So it's just so funny how like these people, you photograph their most intimate moments, and then you feel like you know them so well.
Oh, for sure.
Like even my husband, he would help with the editing. He's like, he would have to stop himself from like saying hi to them in, the grocery store, because he's like, I know them, but they don't know me. Like,
you've seen their face over and over and over.
Yes. Well, and you photograph amazing families too. And so what is your favorite
genre?
I've
tried almost everything.
Yeah. I mean, you're amazing in athletic photos, like the sports photos. You've done my sons.
Those are just something new I started doing this year.
You're so good at them, though.
Just because I've started working with more lighting. With strobes and
the smoke.
The smoke. And I was like, well, I want to like just learn a little bit more about how to use these. And, it was really slow for me this last June. And so I was like, well, that's going to be my goal to learn is this new dramatic sports lighting with the smoke and the gels is what they call it. And, so now I photographed a softball team, basketball team, individual football, volleyball photos. And it's definitely so different than what I'm used to. So like I go in and I'm like, okay, hopefully nothing like there's just so much equipment. There's so much opportunity for something to happen.
Yes.
Whereas with just me and my camera, like I got this, you know, like
well, and it's an element you can control too when it's in your studio.
Right.
When it's outside, there's so many things you can't control.
Right.
So, but your sports photography is freaking amazing.
It's a lot of fun. But yeah, if I had to pick one.
Oh my gosh.
Gosh, it would be hard because as much as I love newborns and I love babies, like that's probably what really got me into photography was photographing babies. I just really love interacting with kids that are like young.
Look it.
Because you just never know what they're going to say, how they're going to react.
Oh, they're hilarious.
You know, and I am a really patient person. So like if a kid wants to throw a tantrum, like let's just capture that. Like why not? I think it's great. Yeah. You know, and I know a lot of parents don't want pictures of their kids like that. I get that. But it's reality. I do.
Yes.
It's
reality.
And going back, you know, kids love to go back and look at that stuff.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yes.
When they're older and they go, oh, look at me, I'm throwing a fit.
Yes, yes. One of our favorite photos of between me and my siblings is there's a photo of us meeting Santa. And I'm like all like chummy with Santa. So is my sister and my brother's losing it.
Right.
Like,
right.
Like,
yeah.
So
I mean, Santa's scary. Yeah. To a small child.
Yeah. But yeah, your work is just amazing.
Oh gosh, that was back in North Carolina.
Well, these are old.
They're very old.
Was that a vacation?
Nope. I used to live in North Carolina. That was my backyard.
That was your backyard?
That was my backyard.
That is beautiful.
And so every time I saw a beautiful sunset, I just had to capture it, right?
That is beautiful.
So yeah, it was one of my favorite places to live. It's a little town called Beaufort, North Carolina on the coast. And yeah.
And when did you live there?
I lived there, let's see. March, let me see. I think I moved in March of 2012.
Okay.
Until like May of 2015.
Okay. And then you came to Texas?
And then I came to Texas and I've been here since.
Oh, different weather, beautiful beaches there. And then we have our beaches.
Yeah, the beaches are much prettier there.
Yeah.
There's this cute dock. The downtown. I mean, it really reminds me a lot of Buda, the size of the town.
Okay.
I mean, maybe a little smaller, honestly. Probably a little smaller, but I mean, it was just so cute. You can just walk the boardwalk. There's little restaurants and like boats everywhere. And it was just such a neat community to be in.
Yeah.
But I definitely miss Texas because I grew up here and I just love it here.
Yeah.
And I love the beach, but like I don't need the beach every day.
No.
You know, like
I mean,
I'm okay without it.
I try and convince my husband every day to move to Florida, but it's, you know, it is what it is.
You'll break him down eventually.
I know. I'm getting closer. I'm trying to con my kids. I've got 1 out of 3 convinced.
Oh, okay.
I'm like,
well, it can happen one day.
Yes.
You're 25% there.
Yes. And my husband's like, when I retire. I'm like, when is it? So how long have you been doing photography?
Well, I took photography in high school.
Okay.
I've loved it ever since then.
Yeah.
But actually doing it as a job, part-time job, I started that when I lived in Pensacola, Florida.
Ooh.
So lived there for, I don't know, 3-4 years maybe.
Okay.
And I started photographing newborns out of my home, pregnant.
That was me.
Had you know, the little bean bag, the old school bean bags that you just stuffed and blankets and so that was back in 2010. No, it was before that. 2008.
Okay.
9. I went full time in photography in North Carolina, so that would have been like 2013.
Okay.
2014. pretty much. And then 2015 on, I've only been a photographer.
Oh, so over 10 years.
Over 10 years for sure.
And you've seen lots of trends. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep. So that's in my house in North Carolina. That is funny.
Isn't it so funny to look at your old
that.
stuff?
I'm like, I kind of want to cringe looking at it. I'm not going to lie.
I can find anything.
Well, it's so funny too. As a photographer, you go back and look at your old stuff and you're like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was winging it, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And now like, you know, the perfect poses and how to simplify it and streamline it.
Right. Right.
But it's crazy.
Fun. I love looking back at these. Like I know all these families. Like I just know who they are.
Yeah.
Because I've spent so much of, you know, my life photographing their life.
Yep.
You know?
Well, and it's so cool because I'm sure you started as like engagement and then you do maternity.
Right.
And then you do newborn and then you're into family, you know, and graduation.
This kid's a teenager now.
For sure.
Oh my goodness.
For sure.
He's 13 now.
Dang. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. It's
12 to 13.
It's crazy how you get
the boardwalk in Beaufort there.
Watch these families just grow. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, this is so long ago.
She's so cute. Oh my goodness. That is adorable.
Look at these outfits.
And this is 2012.
Look at these props. I'm loving these props.
2012. Okay. So
I
yeah,
love a
so
good prop.
2012, I was shooting a lot, just trying to grow my presence. This is in North Carolina. So I was doing a lot of family photography. You know, the cotton fields were there. That was a wedding I photographed.
Good old weddings.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun.
Yeah.
But
That's
now,
cute.
you know, I've kind of just gotten into my niche and don't shoot many weddings. I haven't shot a wedding since my niece got married, and that was in Dripping Springs at the Terrace Club, which was a beautiful venue.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny too because like when I did photography, everybody thinks that just because you do photography, you need to do like all aspects of it.
Right.
And it's like weddings, it's a special photographer for that. It's exhausting.
For
like
sure.
newborns are exhausting in a short period of time, but weddings is an all day thing.
For
and
sure.
you see it, all of it.
Yes.
All the stress, and you're trying to like handle emotions too. I mean, I had one where the bride was like not wanting to walk down the aisle. I'm like, you got to walk.
Oh, wow.
Or your fishing's leaving.
Yes.
One or the other.
Like, this is not the day to be questioning if you should be getting married.
Yeah, no. And it did not last, so that probably should have been the first sign.
Yes.
But yeah, weddings are a lot.
For
And there's
sure.
so many pictures. And I don't think people realize, too, an important element, you know, that comes into photography is lighting.
Right.
And so they're like, oh, yeah, my wedding's at noon. You're like, that is miserable for lighting.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, with the wedding, there's,
yeah.
I mean, unless you're involved in the process very early on,
Yeah.
Which hopefully a good wedding coordinator
Yes.
would know these things.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
this is going to be the optimal time to
Right.
do your outdoor ceremony.
Yep.
You
Yep. Because
know?
this is where the sun is, you know, going to be. And this is where your family and friends are going to see
Right.
you. Like those perspectives. Or even family photography, they're like, oh, yeah, I'm available Saturday between 1 and 3. You're like,
Right.
no.
Yeah. I mean, you just pretty much have to use your knowledge as a professional and say that's just not going to work.
Yes.
I've made exceptions, but not very often. I mean, usually it's like, if you want the quality that I want to provide for you, you're going to have to take my recommendations on timing.
Right.
You know, if you want that pretty golden light, I cannot do that at 2 p.m. It's
Nope.
just not
Nope.
possible.
It's going to be so blown out. You're not even going to see
Right.
your face.
Right.
Well, and it's funny too because, you know, not only as a photographer, you're, you know, coming up with, you know, positions and poses and formats of how you want them grouped up and stuff, but then you're also giving them advice on like what to wear,
Right.
you know, like do not show up all wearing white shirts. Like it just doesn't look right, you know,
Right.
It's not going to show your best features. And so,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and don't wear something that's going to date the photo is another
Exactly.
thing. I don't think
Yeah.
people take that into
Something
consideration.
that's super trendy.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's like you look back at like Real Housewives of New Jersey, you know, 10 years ago. I mean, y'all probably shouldn't have wore that because it really ages you, you know? So, But photography. And it's crazy how streamlined it has been, like an editing.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
It's changed a lot since I first. I mean, I taught myself Photoshop. Like,
yes.
I didn't go to school for it.
Right.
I'm a self-taught photographer. Everything I've learned, I've either done online workshops or I've just watched video after video, or I've gone to in-person workshops or conferences or whatever. And I've learned so much.
Right.
And there's another editing software out there that I haven't tried yet, but I'm like, why haven't I tried it? Everyone's going to be going to it.
Yeah.
You know, like, I need
that's
to start
what people
working.
I don't think they realize is not only are you having to stay up on trends and locations.
True.
Locations change often, but also on the software behind the scenes on editing and stuff.
Right.
Like that is something that's time consuming as well.
Right.
And learning the ins and outs of that to streamline that as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, a photo straight out of the camera is never going to look like what a final image is going to look like.
No.
And yeah, some people do realize that there is you know, editing involved.
Yeah.
And some people like really think that the way you take it, like, why can't you just put them on the computer and can have them?
My iPhone
don't
does
really
it.
want them that way.
my phone does it. Why can't you? Like,
right.
No, that's not how it works.
Yeah, but I mean, just learning lighting. Like in studio, I use external lighting. I use strobes.
Yes.
And outdoors, obviously, I only use natural lighting. I could use strobes. I mean, I did for your son's football photos.
Yeah.
So it's fun now, like saying, oh, well, if I want to use them, I can.
Right.
Like, if I want to make it look like it's nighttime at 2 p.m.
That was the coolest thing ever.
I can do that.
That was really cool.
I don't know. I'm kind of a sucker for natural light, too.
Yeah.
You know, I used to actually really hate the dramatic lighting look. But now I'm kind of like, oh, it's kind of fun. Like, playing around with it in studio. I had a gal come in for a branding session, and I was like, I just kind of want to play around with the light. Like, I know what it should do. This isn't like photos that I take a lot, but, you know, she wanted something a little more edgy, a little more fun. And I'm like, let's just have fun with this, you know? And she was willing, I was willing, you know, so it's like, then you get to create something new that's like, oh, this could be a thing.
Yeah. I mean, when you did my son's, one of my favorite shots is the goldenness of the stadium behind him.
Oh, yeah. The sun was just.
Yeah. And it was really pretty. And like, he just loves the pictures and whatnot. And I was telling him, because you had tagged me or something, and like, all of like little high steppers were liking him and stuff, and that like boosted his little 13-year-old ego.
He was so cute though. I mean, he was the sweetest.
Oh, he's a ham.
Sweetest kid. Yeah.
But yeah, you're like, it's a talent that you have, and it's people think that, oh, I just pick up a camera, I'm gonna be busy, I'm gonna have all this business, I know what I'm doing. Or there's times where when I used to do photography, I'd show up and people literally had like an iPad and they're charging people for photography. I'm like,
oh, wow.
Just because you see somebody post a Facebook ad doesn't mean they got quality of a product, you know?
Right. But then, you know, there's a lot of people out there too that like they don't really see maybe the difference in different photographers' art, you know?
Right.
I mean, I have photographers that I gush over. I'm like, I wish I could be like them, or like, but I mean, honestly, like, we need to just be our own people.
Right.
You know, and I'm like,
have your own version
as much
of it.
as like, I love what they do. Like, if I just tried to emulate that, like, that wouldn't really be me.
Right.
Even though I'm like, I want to learn how to do that, you know, like I want to learn how to do all these things. And then, you know, something will just grow out of that.
Yeah. Well, and it cracks me up too. Cake smash is one of my
gosh.
favorite too. Because it's hit or miss. They love the cake.
I actually just
had
a cake smash this morning.
Did they love the cake or hate it?
She wanted nothing to do with the cake.
Isn't it the funniest thing? The parents spent all this top dollar on a cake, and the kid want nothing to do with it.
She did not want that cake, and it was like the cutest little cake. I would have eaten it, but
well, and it has to do a lot of the times with the stickiness of the frosting.
Yeah, I think she didn't want her hands dirty.
Yes.
Some babies hate that, and she was kind of like flinging it.
Yep. So if it's like that sticky buttercream frosting, they're not having it.
Yes.
But if it's the whipped frosting,
whipped works well.
Yes, and it's easier to clean up.
Yes, it is.
And it
much
doesn't
easier.
stain everything.
They can get straight to the cake.
Yep.
Yep.
And half the time they're just taking a bite out of it. But oh my gosh.
I want to eat that cake. Doesn't it look amazing?
That's a beautiful cake.
That cake
looks like
probably
it has all the
weighed 100
flavors.
pounds.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was one of those cakes where you like lift it and you're like, oh, I'm going to drop this. Like, I'm scared to carry it because what if I drop it and then they're like $100 is down the drain?
Well, and it's, like I said, how much you spend for the cake for a cake smash session.
Wow, I want that cake now.
Oh my gosh. Oh, see, they did donuts. That was smart.
I love donuts.
Yeah.
Donuts are great for babies. And I know like a lot of parents want the cake. It's the traditional. But donuts are great because it's like they have something to hold on to.
Yes.
And then they're like.
And they're just gnawing
Yeah,
at it.
and then they're just having so much fun with it.
Oh my gosh, she's so cute. Do you provide their outfits too or no?
Usually not. I do have a pile of outfits that I've kind of started collecting.
Yeah.
But pretty much I do everything except for the outfit and the cake. That's something that they would have to bring just for allergy reasons. I just don't feel comfortable doing food. And then, the outfit I feel like is a very personal choice for the parent. But we work together to talk about the background and the colors, and I want them to send me a picture of the outfit, because I want it
to incorporate.
I can kind of like see it, and then I kind of come up with something that, some give me a lot of direction, and some are like, I just want this kind of vibe or these kind of colors, or some people are like, I want something that looks just like this, and I'm like, okay, I'll get something very similar. It's not going to be exact.
Yeah.
But I've had a lot of fun creating these little sets. For these little ones.
That is the cutest setup. Yes.
Yeah, little toasted s'mores.
Where do you store all of this?
Yeah.
See, all that stuff that's not in here right now is out there.
Oh, I had that problem. I had like 3 different wagons.
Yes. So luckily, my sister is a professional organizer.
Okay.
And she has come to my studio multiple times to help me organize everything. And I think I need her to come back again because I have lots of shelving.
Yeah.
And everything's on shelves, in bins, in bowls, in baskets. It's hard for me to really get rid of anything. So everything you see in these photos, I probably still have. Because, I might need it one day.
Yeah, you never know. And do you do the balloon work too?
Balloon garlands, yep.
Oh my goodness. Yep. Like you're a party planner as well? Oh my God.
I don't know about planning parties, but I definitely can make a balloon garland.
Oh my goodness.
I've made one so many balloons one day that my finger got a blister on it from tying them.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm still not great at tying a balloon.
Yeah, they're hard.
They're
hard to tie. Oh my goodness. That's such a pretty color.
I love that color. It's
That's
like a
really,
plum.
Yeah.
Yes. But
I had one mom that came for newborns, and it was the second session they did. Okay. She had paid somebody to do her first session, and she called me just crying leaving the session. And she was like,
no.
I delivered a girl, and the only girly color she incorporated was mustard yellow. I was like, huh? Like, what? So she wanted a whole new newborn session, and literally any color that was girly outside of mustard yellow. So we did pinks and purples and teals.
I wonder where that communication breakdown
happens. Have no idea. I have no idea. And then they became such great friends, and I ended up helping them sell their house. I helped grandma buy her house and then sell her house. It was a thing. But
that's great.
But her kiddos were super cute. But yeah, she was like just like this, first time was not what I thought it was gonna be. But
right.
Now, do you do seniors as well?
On occasion.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I don't feel like I'm as good with the teens, even though I have teens.
Well, they're moody. They're moody.
Well, they want what they want.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I think I photographed more senior boys.
Okay.
Surprisingly. I did photograph my both daughters. I did their senior photos. And some of their friends. And it's fun. It's fun just to do one here and there. Yeah. Because it's just something different. But I just work so much better with the little ones, the babies and the toddlers. And
toddlers are so fun, though.
I just love.
Oh, dang.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
Some dance photos there.
Yeah. Now, your daughter's a dancer, right?
She did. She did dancing in high school. She doesn't do it anymore. But it was fun. I enjoy watching these girls dance. My daughter that's at Hayesville, she's the manager for the dance team.
Oh, okay.
So I'm still very involved with the dance team there, and I love photographing them every year. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Doing their movement photos, I guess is what we would call them. I don't really know. They get to do a jump or action photos, and we use those at spring show. We blow them up and hang them at spring show. So did blue background one year, red background. I've done white background. So this year I don't know what color we're doing yet.
Oh yeah, because it's got to be
yellow.
But I'm gonna have to photograph it soon because spring show is coming up in like a month.
Oh dang!
Which is it's early this year, so
no pressure.
Yeah, we definitely need to probably get that on the books.
Yeah,
but it's fun. So yeah, seniors every now and then.
Spring as a photographer is always an interesting time, just because of
the
weather.
The weather. Stressful.
I mean, prime example yesterday. Yesterday was warm, and then we had this weird wind.
Right.
And then this morning it was 40 degrees.
Right.
I was like, what is this?
It's more impossible to photograph in wind like that.
Yes.
Than anything.
Yes.
Even though, I mean, rain obviously.
Yeah.
But wind will break a session.
Oh, 100%. Especially a mom with her hair. It's a whole thing, you know?
For sure.
Yeah. Dresses, all of the things. You end up with the whole,
right.
Marilyn Monroe moment. Well, and also it starts to tend to be humid.
Oh, gosh.
And that plays into it, too.
Yes.
I don't think people take that into consideration. One year, people would
We probably even have the same hair because I cannot.
Yes.
I can't go out in the humidity.
No.
It's just not something I want to ever do.
It turns into that picture. It turns into that picture from Princess Diaries. Before they do the makeover, and she's got her whole hair out to here.
Right.
That's what it is. But yeah. Well, and then I think it was 2 years, people were like, oh, can you do blue bonnet shots, Those are so hard to plan.
Gosh, they are so hard.
And it's so stressful.
They're gorgeous flowers, right?
Yes.
But it's so unpredictable. It has caused me so much stress over the years that I actually stopped offering them.
Yep, I did too.
But this year, I'm like, maybe I'll give it a go again this year.
Oh, you're brave. You're brave. Because it's you can totally know a really good field the year prior, and then the next year it doesn't perform.
Right. Right. It's not
and they're never the same consistent time any time of the year. Year after year, it's a different time. Sometimes it will come in February. Sometimes it doesn't come till April. It's just it's all over the place. Look at those.
But I love them.
Yes.
And they're
colors,
gorgeous.
They're so pretty. Those are so pretty. See, that's when you incorporate blue and white.
That is perfect. I actually love when people wear blue in the blue bonnets.
Yes.
It's actually one of my favorite colors.
Yes, blue or purple.
Yeah. We get a lot of white, which I get.
Yeah.
But
oh my
the denim,
goodness.
I think it's
the denim is nice
it's
too.
So cute. And I love blue bonnets.
Well, and it's also hard too to find a safe place to do blue bonnets.
True.
Because conveniently they want to grow on the side of the highway.
Right. The best fields are right on the side of Mopac.
And that does not work.
No, thank you. I don't want to get run over.
No. Or have to Photoshop a car out of the backdrop.
Oh, for sure. It is. It's very hard. Or it's private property.
Yes.
So I'm like,
yes.
Do any of my friends own property with wildflowers?
Yes. If not, let's just start planting them this year. And maybe next year they'll be amazing.
Yes. You know how many times I've wanted to just buy a piece of property to make it my photo shoot location.
Yeah.
I want wildflowers in the spring. I want a pumpkin patch in the fall.
I
want a Christmas tree farm.
Yeah.
At Christmas time.
Which is funny because my senior portraits, we went to this studio house and it had a porch and everything.
I really think we might. No, we didn't grow up in the same place. You're in California.
Yes.
Okay. So this sounds exactly like my
different
senior
parts of the property had different vibes and looks.
Okay.
And so one part of it was as if you were in the hill country, and then there was some pictures of me on the porch, and I had a different outfit and at different looks everywhere along a tree and stuff, and they incorporated so many looks on this piece of property. I was that is genius how they did that.
So Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did the same thing, but maybe up in Georgetown or somewhere. I had a photo by a tree. I had a photo probably with a hay bale.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
You just move from like set to set.
Yep. And it felt like you were in different places, but you were at the same place.
And I don't think they really have, I don't really see that much anymore.
No.
You know, the outdoor studio.
No,
kind of
no,
look?
I don't see it at all anymore. And that would be perfect if you got a piece of land because you can get like an old vehicle and park it out there and give it that whole, look and vibe and, have your flowers out there different times a year. I don't know about a Christmas tree farm because that might take you a while. But
well, I can probably just buy a ton of fake Christmas trees because
they look real nowadays.
Literally, I have thought about doing that.
Yeah.
Because we have like no good tree farms here.
We don't.
They're not good.
No.
And then I get jealous of all the beautiful tree farm photos from up north.
Yeah, there's like Elgin, right?
Yes.
Elgin. And the last time I went, which was 2 years ago, I was almost embarrassed to do photos there because the trees were like half the size they were the year before.
Yeah.
I was like, my clients are taller than this tree.
100%.
Like, how am I supposed to do?
Everybody's sitting down.
Did they sell everything they had?
Everybody's sitting down. I had a client that wanted to do Christmas photos of their daughter, and it was like, remember, you probably saw it, where they did like the whole Fisher Price tyke vehicle with the fig tree strapped to the top of it and stuff. So she brought it to the Elgin tree farm, and someone, good thing she's pint sized because these trees aren't very big.
Right.
But yeah, and then she's like, "Can you Photoshop snow?" And I'm like, "Sure." Like, why not?
Chad can.
Yeah, Chad can Photoshop snow because I'm not doing it. Like, these trees
funny.
are not looking good. We'll Photoshop make them look better too. We'll just duplicate them,
I mean, with AI now, you can just
I know.
put whatever background you want in there.
It's crazy what you could do with AI. It's
is.
so funny too nowadays when you could tell when people use AI to Photoshop thing. I'm like, all of a sudden you have 7 fingers.
Yes. It doesn't always know exactly what you want.
Yeah, with hands, it has a problem with hands. I'm like, I see you, Kim Kardashian. That was AI.
You have 2 booties.
100%. Why are your fingers like 12 inches long?
Right.
Like, that is not normal.
Exactly.
Do you get all kinds of like crazy requests from people because of Pinterest and whatnot, or they see on TikTok or something?
I don't think I've gotten anything crazy recently. I mean, I don't know if this is crazy, but it's really fun.
Yeah.
So I had a family come in. This was when I was still photographing out of my house. So this is probably 4 years ago. And they're like, "Hey, we want to bring this blanket we have. And we want you to take a picture of the baby wrapped in it as a burrito." And I'm like, yes. Okay. So I have a sombrero, have a Mexican blanket. I mean, the whole set. We've got to find this photo. It's somewhere.
4 years ago?
Probably 4 to 5 years ago.
Oh, my gosh.
And this was the best part of the whole photo shoot. They go in their bag and they bring out homemade salsa.
What?
Okay, they legit made salsa in their little bowls.
Oh,
and brought chips.
Oh everything. My gosh!
So we've got this cute baby wrapped in this taco burrito blanket.
Yeah,
laying amongst chips and salsa.
Yeah,
I mean, it was the best. So I call him, Taco Baby. And I love it. I just love it.
Oh my gosh. We're going to have to find that photo.
Yes.
Did they own like a restaurant that was their thing? Or what was the whole meaning behind the tacos and the salsa? Or is that her craving? What was it?
Okay, yeah. Go through this album, if we can go through this album. I'm not really sure why they wanted
Look at that hair.
There it is. There it is.
Oh my god. And his eyes and everything.
But look.
Oh
they brought their salsa.
The limes. The limes.
Did they go get it from Garcia's or something?
Oh
I don't know. Gosh. They just pulled it out of their bag.
Look at those chips. Those are quality chips right there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Was like, I want some pico de gallo now.
That is the perfect bowl for that too.
Yeah, I
put the baby in.
The mom might have brought that bowl. I was like, I don't remember owning that bowl.
She's like, I have it somewhere in storage.
But yeah, that was probably one of my very fun.
What's the piggy bank? A little pig. What is the pig?
It's maybe salt or pepper.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's a pepper shaker.
I don't really know, but
It's got 3 holes. It's
Oh my
pepper
gosh,
shaker.
that salsa looks good.
doesn't it?
Oh man, it made me hungry
I was
now.
like, can I have some?
Yeah. That's why he's wide awake. He smells it.
He's like, oh.
Oh my gosh.
So that was a fun.
That is cute. I really like that. That is so adorable.
Yeah.
Now, are your kids like in tune to the photography? Have any of them gotten the bug for photography?
Unfortunately not.
No.
No.
Not passing it down to anybody?
You know, and I tell them, I was like, guys, I've got your career made.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I would have started doing this
Yes.
at 20 years old,
Yes.
do you know, like,
Well, and these
how
kids
much
are gonna
better
have
off
kids,
I would be?
So yeah, these kids are gonna have kids one day. So you have built-in business, like return customers.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I might see if my son wants to maybe start editing for me.
Oh, that would be good, especially since he's a gamer.
He is learning Photoshop, I believe, in school.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, you know what? Let's
Yeah.
just keep the
Yeah.
business in the family.
Why
Like,
not?
why not?
Now you do all your editing, right?
Right.
Oh, that's time
I
consuming.
do.
Cheers to that, because that's
I have tried hiring out once or twice,
yeah.
and it was just so much more work for me. Surprisingly, I thought it would be like, oh, I
It's
just
like-
send my photos off. They come back. They're exactly how I want them.
Yeah, it's like that saying,
No.
like, you want something done, you do it yourself, you know?
Right.
Done right, because, yeah, you're always disappointed when you ask for somebody else to do it.
Mhm.
So, yeah. But, well, maybe
Yeah.
he'll get into the editing aspect of it.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to hire someone to help me with editing.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a little bit of a control freak when it comes to
Yes.
my business, which I know the only way I'm gonna grow is to let go, right?
It's like
But
we
it's
all know that, but we don't
hard.
do it.
Yeah,
And
it
I
took
think
me a while to.
Hard.
Yeah. And I think it also, it's like the perfectionist side, but it's also the mom side of us.
Oh, for sure.
We're just used to doing it, you know?
Yeah, we
So,
just do it all. Like,
Yeah.
I think
why?
it's a little different with real estate because it doesn't change much.
No.
True.
No.
There's not facial expressions or people that might blink. You know,
Oh, yeah.
There's not
Right.
a lot of. There's,
Yeah.
There's less.
I just make
personal
sure the
editing that
fans are
goes
off,
into it.
and then you're good.
True.
You know, there's your style goes into your editing, whereas
Yes.
I guess photographers in real estate have a style too, but most of it's pretty uniform.
Yeah.
I mean, you just want good lighting. You want to be able to see the room properly and
Yeah.
But
angles.
with
and,
yours, you've got props and sets and different lighting and natural lighting and
right.
different kind of temperatures you like to use.
Well, and it's so funny too because I used to do when I did photography and then I went into real estate. I was like, oh, I'll just photograph my own houses. No, because it's
Look,
a
I'm calling James.
Yeah.
yes,
Yes.
because it's like as a photographer for like kids and stuff, you're used to this level.
Right.
But when you do real estate, you can't have this level. Like it's this level, you know.
Yeah.
And so learning the different angles and all of
Different
that.
lenses.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure you use wide angle lenses.
Yes.
That are something I probably don't even
Yep.
own. I mean, the widest I have is 35 millimeter. That's
Yeah.
probably what, like a 14 to something? 16 to 35. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
which I do want to get a new lens this year.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to.
Yeah.
We had
but-
gear problems.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Props.
know.
That's another one too. Props. You like you're always looking for
Right.
props. Always.
I go to Hobby Lobby and At Home more now
Yes.
than I ever have in my entire life
Yes.
because of this stuff.
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
Yes.
I was at Hobby Lobby this morning, actually.
Oh really?
I'm
Props.
surprised they don't know me. Yes, I was getting some butterflies
Oh.
for my cake smash this morning
Oh, how cute.
to complete my set. I did a spring flowers and butterflies.
Aw.
And it was so cute. And she
I
was
want to see those.
adorable, but she just really didn't want to participate
She's like,
today,
sugar's
so-
not for me.
Yeah.
She's just not having
It wasn't her cup of tea this morning,
Oh, but yeah.
but it was still fun.
They're fun when they're even screaming at the cake.
Oh yeah.
Like when they're
No,
just like vapor
she had
locking.
full on meltdown tantrum, face planted into the floor.
That is the best.
you
though.
know, and I'm like, okay, hold on, can I get a picture of this first before you go grab her?
That is like, it's my party and I'll cry if I want to.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Let them be whatever they are.
And that's the thing is I think parents don't understand is like, your kid's not going to be perfect for a shoot.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and a lot of times it's the end of the day, especially like family photos. It's
Right.
the end of the day. They're tired.
Mm-hmm.
You probably didn't have your lunch on schedule or your dinner. They're hungry or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's like you get what you get, man. And we're going to make the best of it, you know?
Right. Right. And
So.
I think a lot of us as photographers, I mean, we just want to capture like emotion. We want to capture like personalities.
Right. Yeah, you don't want all of the posy stuff.
No. I mean, yeah, I'll get that for grandma. Grandma likes that photo.
Yes.
But I mean, which one are you gonna like look back at and actually have emotion to?
Right.
It's gonna be the one with your kid.
Right.
That's losing it, or the one that's all by himself in like Timbuktu, and all the family's here, and then you have one person out there.
He's like, Deuce, I'm out.
Yeah.
Good luck photographing the backside.
Yeah. You know, just let them go. Just let them go. It's fine.
Yeah, and especially like parents don't realize like the 2 to 3 is hard because they're learning to be like independent and want to be independent, and you're not going to get them to sit. Like it's not happening.
Yes,
like
they
just have a lifestyle photo shoot.
yes. And that's what I have to tell my parents, like especially when I know I'm going to have a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old. I was like, we need activities to do.
Yes.
Because we need to let the kid think they're in control.
100%.
100%.
Yep.
That's the best way.
It's their world. You're just living in it.
It's their world. I mean, I straight up asked them, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
Like, what's your idea for a photo? Like, let's do that. You know, and they have fun with it. You know, bubbles are great.
Yes.
But then sometimes they can get super messy because then they want the wand and then it's everywhere.
Yep.
You know, just having something for the kids to do is so important.
Right.
Well,
and it distracts from you trying to capture their moment. Like they're preoccupied with something else. And it also takes away like the stranger element or any of that too that they're not used to. Like, why is this woman yelling at me to smile? You know, getting my attention over here.
Right. So. It's like I met this lady like 10 minutes ago, and now you want me to like follow all her directions.
Yep.
You want her to be in my space because I will get up in your space. But that's another good thing is like I have so many families that come back to me because their kids know me and they're excited to come see me again. And I mean, I'll have a 1-year-old that leaves like hugging me, and I'm like, stranger danger, like
that's
it's
the
not
best
happening today.
Too. Yeah.
You know, and then you're like, I won.
Yep.
Yes, like if you can get like a kid to like give you a hug within like the first 30 minutes of knowing them.
Yes.
Win.
Yeah. Because you became their BFF all of a sudden.
Yeah. And I want to be their BFF.
Yes.
Because I want them to be happy and I want them to cooperate.
And their mom, dad keep coming back.
Yeah. But it's so awesome like to see these kids grow up every year. I mean, you know, like for instance, the one that we saw, there's multiple that we were looking at from back in like 2012.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I still know this family and I still photograph this family, and you know, they might have more kids, or you know, their kids are, gosh, I just can't believe we have so many kids that are just moving away now. And,
yes.
You know,
time goes by quick.
Mm-hmm.
Like this kid's 12 now.
12 years old.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
my gosh, the little fox.
Yeah, I look back at these photos and I'm like,
you're like, I could have stuffed that blanket better.
What is happening?
But it looks amazing still. You started out really with a really high bar.
Yes, leaps and bounds ahead of most.
Yeah, I mean, it's a learning game, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there are still photos that I've taken years ago that I'm still super proud of, you know?
Yeah.
But then there's some that I'm like, oh gosh. But you know, at the time, I mean, I'm learning, you know, things are going to change. Like a lot of these are military families that I met, you know, just being, you know, I was a former military wife and I moved around a lot, and, you know, you just get to know these people. I mean, this is actually someone I went to high school with. So is this one.
Oh my gosh.
Went to Bowie High School with both of these people and their children.
Aww.
And it's just, it's so neat. They
Yeah.
They have 3 kids now.
Aww.
Yeah. It's crazy. Oh, wow. I went to high school with her, too.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
Like what is
happening?
Memory lane.
What is happening?
Trip down memory lane for you.
Wow.
They are so cute, though.
I love it.
So, so you got your glitter session coming up. What other cool, exciting sessions do you have coming up?
Glitter's my one that's coming up Saturday, so super soon.
Is that one booked?
I think I know for sure I have one slot open for Saturday, and I might open up Sunday for a couple people that maybe can't make Saturday. So that's my newest. And then I have, Wildflowers. That's going to be after spring break. I book locations that I know will have flowers because, again, we don't know what's going to happen with the bluebonnets. But I'm definitely hoping to find some decent bluebonnets this year.
Yeah.
And kind of dive in. And I'll probably do some last-minute bluebonnet sessions. Once I see them and I know they're happening and where they're happening, and I'll be like, okay, next week
should
I
do
have
like
these 2 dates.
A finder's fee on Facebook.
I have.
I
have offered that before. I'll trade you a session.
Yeah.
For a location.
Yeah.
And
if it's a safe, legit location.
Right. If it's someone's private property that I just need access to, and they're okay with like me being there for 2 days, or if they find something, yes, I am so willing to do a trade.
Yeah.
Because that's hard.
It is.
Like scouting. I mean, there are so many things.
If you're like me, when I was a photographer, I was driving, looking around. And now I don't ever pay attention to landmarks or anything anymore. But before it's like, that would be an amazing field, or that's a really cool park. Let me go check that out and stuff. But now I don't even pay attention to it anymore.
Yeah. And something else that I think looks cool in a photograph, but not in real life, is like things that are just like dead grass and dead trees. And, any person would be like, why would you want to photograph that? And I'm like, just wait. Just wait. Because I have a vision. Yes. It's going to look gorgeous in a photograph, even though it looks like just dead grass.
A fire hazard.
Right. Well, I mean, it probably is. Let's not lie.
So you got flowers coming up, and then are you busy during the summer with like family sessions or no? Because of the heat?
Not as much. Most families want to be photographed in the spring and in the fall.
Yeah.
Summer's kind of like if there's something fun you want to do.
Yeah.
That you have time to do it. I'm still photographing maternity clients and newborns and cake smashes. Those are my year-round.
Yeah.
But most of my family sessions are going to be happening in the spring and fall.
Yeah.
So that's when I see most of them. But it's year-round for me. I mean, I had to build a business model where I didn't only photograph once a year. Okay, so this is in studio, but it's actually one of my favorite sets.
That's super cute.
It didn't, book as well as I was hoping it would, because I just personally love it. But I guess you have to kind of like gardening.
Yeah.
Or, just kids. I mean, this is an activity shoot. Kids are playing with pots. They're pretending to like water and, so these are fun because you're just getting like that raw emotion. Santa ones.
The Santa ones you are really cute.
They're always so much fun. Because again, you just never know how they're going to react.
Oh my goodness.
That looks like a painting.
It does.
Like a Norman Rockwell painting.
Yes.
Well, thank you. I mean, that's what I was going for.
You've accomplished it.
So,
is this an overlay in Photoshop?
The window is. Yep. Mm-hmm. The window is the overlay. And then the editing that I do with my Santa photos is totally different than my regular editing. Because I do want it to look like that storybook. Like I want you to print it.
It's very sharp, and the contrast to it all. It's It almost like you could turn it into make it a puzzle.
Oh, that would be cool.
Oh,
yeah. That'd be a great grandparent gift.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What a good idea.
There's your branding for you.
Woo.
You have them do them in like November.
Yeah, October.
Yeah, and then you turn them into a puzzle.
Yeah.
Isn't there a puzzle company in Wimberley that makes custom puzzles?
Is there?
Ooh, even local.
Let's look that up, James.
Pull it up, James. Old Jamie.
Well, yeah, that would be like a perfect, because I love doing puzzles, and so grandparents can sit there and just do a puzzle, and then
grandparents love puzzles, right?
Yes, it's supposed to keep you sharp, right? Keeps your mind sharp. So they say like
Wimberley Puzzle Company.
There you go.
Okay. Well, maybe I need to contact them and be like, look, we need a put this together.
Yeah, that'd be cute.
They do wood puzzles too.
You know what would be
fun.
even cute is if it was like in like just a plain wood box, so the grandparents don't know what it is until they put it together.
Yeah, but how would you know how to put it together without seeing?
Well,
the
you
photo?
start with the edges.
That's about all you can do. You know, I thought about that actually. I was like, oh, it'd be cool to be a surprise, and I'm like, well, no. How can you put a puzzle together without knowing what the picture is?
Yeah. Maybe you give them clues,
idea.
like daily. Just give them clues. Like, here's the top left corner. Here's the top right corner. Ooh, coasters. You could do coasters. Those coasters?
Yeah, they look like slate.
Okay. There you go. You have endless opportunities to open up like a whole...
So many products.
Yeah. A whole shop side to it. Is that Bigfoot? Funny story. My husband's hometown...
Tech Squatch.
My husband's hometown is Willow Creek, California. That's where the black and white Bigfoot footage was filmed.
Okay.
And so they have a Bigfoot museum.
Oh.
They have a parade called Bigfoot Days. It goes on during Labor Day weekend.
Nice.
And when my mom came to visit, it was like National Geographic was out there and everything for this parade. And my mom's total city-fied. She's like, get in the car. They think he actually exists. Like, she's like, I'm taking you away.
Get in the car.
Well, they owned my in-laws owned a restaurant, and they would truck all these tourists, and they're like, have you seen Bigfoot? You know, I was like, he's not called me back lately. And
yeah.
They would just like this look on their face.
He's busy.
Oh yeah, there would be like carved wooden statues on display in there, and one was like an actual fisherman, and they would be posing next to it, and I'm just sitting back laughing. I'm like, I got Bigfoot on the brain that they think that's Bigfoot, you know? But yeah, that's
hilarious.
Which one of my favorite movies growing up was Harry and the Hendersons.
Oh, great movie.
Oh yeah,
that's a good movie.
I remember that one.
Yeah, I remember
Lithgow.
when he sticks his head out the window and he makes the ambulance sound. Like we were talking earlier, they just don't make movies like they used to.
No,
they don't. I mean, I was like, I got the whim the other day. I'm like, well, maybe there's a good movie we'll go see. There's nothing. There's nothing in the theaters that's decent to go pay. What is it, $14 a ticket or something?
I'm trying to think of like what the last movie I've gone to see that like I was like, okay, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Top Gun 2.
Like, I did.
Yes, that was a good one.
I did see that one.
That was a good one.
That one
took
was
Jennifer
great.
to see it. She didn't want to go see it in the theater, but I'm like, we got to go see it in the
you
theater.
have to.
Yeah, for sure.
I saw the first one in the theater. Go see the second one in the theater.
Right.
The last movie I saw in the theater was the Twister movie.
Oh, yeah, we saw that too.
That one was a good one.
I haven't seen that one.
Just
that
because
was the last one we saw.
Yeah, that was the last one I saw. Just because of the surround sound and everything.
Okay.
Totally.
We went for the special effects.
Yeah.
But, the first one was so good.
Yeah.
And cheesy.
Yeah.
The cow goes flying by.
Oh, for sure.
Have you seen that one yet?
Twister.
The new Twister?
The new one, no. I haven't seen the new one.
So that is something you could definitely watch as a family movie because there's
Okay.
nothing inappropriate in that. We watched it as a family at home, and we went in the theater to see it, just my husband and I, in case there was something. And then we're like, no, this would be something that the kids could watch and learn about, But yeah, it was a good movie. But they don't make movies decent anymore. And now it's like
it's so much AI in them too.
Yes.
And it's just different.
It is. Like all the Marvel movies, they're not like filmed on set anymore. They're like in a studio and they AI everything around them.
Yeah.
But it's just there's not really good storylines to movies anymore. And then I had this conversation with a friend about how you have to have like 12 different streaming services, and then you still have to rent a movie.
Don't even get me started about that. I mean, what was I trying to watch like recently? And I'm like, why can I not watch this?
Yes.
I think it was the Super Bowl, actually.
Oh.
And I was like, I have like every streaming thing there is.
Yep.
But I have to have like this specific one. I mean, I don't know.
Even to watch football, you have to have like Prime to watch what night. I don't even know what night it is to watch football one night, and everything's on a different channel. Yeah, like I'm like I pay for Disney Plus, but then to watch Maui 2, I gotta pay $20-something.
Right?
Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then I'm like, when we actually had cable TV or Dish or Direct TV, you had more channels provided to you than you do now, and it was cheaper than it is now.
I know.
I'm gonna need Doge to get on that.
What is happening?
Freaking scam.
The streaming scam.
It's a streaming scam.
And then I just can't ever remember, okay, what show was I watching? What platform was I watching
yes.
on? Like, it's just too much.
Well, and it's funny because you think it should be like, what was it? One of them, I think it's Landman. One of them is a Paramount show, but it's not on Paramount.
That's Landman.
Yes, isn't it on Hulu or something like that?
Yeah.
No, it's
Peacock maybe.
Yeah.
I think it's Peacock.
Yeah, it's Peacock.
Yeah. I'm like, how does that make any sense?
I'm guessing because they paid more money for it.
Oh.
Taylor Sheridan was probably locked into a certain contract with Paramount.
Yeah.
CBS.
Yeah.
And then they picked up.
Which it's even funnier is they're an MTV production.
Who knows? It all goes back to
I don't even know.
Probably 3 studios.
Speaking of MTV.
Oh gosh.
I mean,
where'd the music go?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
The day the music
I
died.
always used to watch MTV. VH1?
Yep.
VH1,
right?
yes.
Yep,
Yes.
And
That was
CMT,
another one.
where's the
Yes.
country music. And yeah, I loved watching music videos.
Yep.
It's just not a thing anymore.
No, it's not. And then
I mean, they're still being
they're on
made.
YouTube. I still watch on YouTube.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's
But
no
not on
channel
MTV.
dedicated to music videos
and
anymore.
I mean, yeah, you had Total Request Live. Like those were the good old days. You'd go every day at home and watch Total Request Live. You know, and watch your favorite. Call in, or you watch your favorite star go on there, and you're like, okay, they're answering questions. I get to know about them, you know?
Yep.
But now you don't have any of that stuff.
Used to like tape record music off the radio.
And then put it in the order you wanted on the dual cassette.
Yes.
Record the top 40 while you're at church, and then go home and remix it in the order you wanted.
Yep. Yeah, it's
Your
like when
top 40.
talking about kids that they don't know the struggles and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
we had to work hard for that.
Yeah.
a lot of times illegally.
yes.
Napster.
Shoot.
All on dial-up.
In college, there was so much transferred across
like 3
our
hours to
local
get an
network.
Or all day to get an album.
Yes. And they will never appreciate the binder of CDs that we had organized.
I still have binders.
I still have my binder CDs in the closet.
They will never appreciate the work that went, and you had to write on it what it was just so you could remember. And then sometimes you'd have the same song on 3 different CDs because it was just the jam you had to have. And, and then when it was scratched, it was skipping.
Yeah, that was the worst. Mine got scratched all the time. I guess I didn't take very good care of it.
Well, yeah, what is that? There was like these funny reels of like people don't realize like you're telling your kids not to be distracted while they're driving, but we were like like putting the CD in and like reading reading your MapQuest at the same time like you're driving. Like
I'm like, there was a time we had to actually like look up our directions and write them down
or print them out. Yep.
Like, I don't think I would want to go anywhere without my Google Maps anymore.
No.
It's just not that I depend on it, but I do.
Right.
Like, if I'm going to a new area, like, if I don't have that, I just don't know where I am.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, and I
haven't looked it up, obviously.
Well, and I appreciate that it takes in real time in traffic. Like,
True.
we didn't have that growing up.
That is nice.
Like,
yeah.
Once you were in it, you were in it. There was no diversion out of it. You were stuck. You were stuck. But yeah,
and you might not know another route.
No.
You might only know your one route.
Yeah. I'm like, you kids don't want to learn how to drive, and you have it so much easier these days. Like, you got backup cameras.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got cameras that help you park. Like, your car automatically locks for you. Like, this whole thing.
True.
You can't lose your key in the car. Like, there was many times I did that, you know?
Yes.
They have it so easy. So easy.
I mean, you don't even need a key. You just...
No.
Something in your vicinity.
Yes, a fob.
Like, I actually... I'm just definitely going to show you my bouginess factor here, but... Like, I really don't want to go back to putting a key into an ignition. Like,
no.
I'm done with that.
No.
It's not anything I ever want to do again.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of a pain to be pulling it out of my pocket. Well, I mean, I'm not going to lie.
It's so funny. It's so funny. My husband's truck has, like, it's a Ford F-150, so you push the button, the key thing comes out of it.
Okay.
So anytime I drive his car and I'll get in, and I'm, like, looking for a button, it takes me a good minute to realize, it's in the fob.
I'm the exact opposite. Jennifer just got a new car and it has the push button. But the other two are old.
Yeah.
Keys, and every time I'm getting in her car, I'm locked. I'm like, okay, where's my phone go? Okay, it goes here on the charging pad, and then it's gonna CarPlay, and then when I started.
I love CarPlay.
I do too.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love CarPlay too. I have it in mine too.
Well, and then it's funny because my car, I get in it and it automatically knows my settings, so it adjusts the seat and everything else, the console and stuff. Well, Chad's doesn't, so I get in and 5'2", 5'3", and my hill of my driveway is like this, and then you got to pull the handle underneath, and I'm like trying to.
Oh yeah, but
the
gravity's taking you back. I know exactly. I know the struggle.
I was like, never.
I get in, I put it in reverse, and it won't go anywhere. I'm like, the parking brakes. So I'm gonna push a button for the parking brake. Like that doesn't make sense to me. I need a pedal or a lip.
Well, and it's funny because I learned to drive with a manual, with a stick shift.
Okay.
And it's like now kids have no idea what that is.
Yeah.
Like
it's not much of a thing anymore.
No. My dad was like, you're going to learn, you're going to learn on a manual because if you know how to drive that, you know how to drive anything and stuff. Do I know how to do it now? He said, probably not. But I learned how to go uphill on that thing, downhill, everything.
Yep.
I used to know how to race it.
Oh, yeah.
My first car was a Mini Cooper.
Oh, okay.
And it was one of the original ones that came out. It was red and it had the Union Jack on the top of it.
Nice.
And in my hometown, way back by one of the bases, there was like these hills. And so my dad was teaching me like defensive driving and stuff. And so I just go, and when you hit the hill, you would just float. And I was having the best time of my life. I was going like 90 miles an hour on these hills and stuff until we see this helicopter in the air. And then it kind of circles around, and then we glance at the top of the hill, and it was a high patrol. I was like, oh, no. And so we get there, and the high patrol's like, my dad's like, we're teaching her how to drive. It's defensive. And he's like, all right, there's no one else out here. You're fine. So we turned around and did it again.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, now you go there to go visit. Yep.
Yeah.
That was it. That was it. It had been in the shop so many times because of like airbag lights going off and things. And
I'm sure.
And it was so low geared. I would laugh when they would try and take it back, and they'd stall it like 12 times to try and take it back. I was like,
but that had to be fun. That had to be fun to drive.
Was the whole roof like that?
Yes, the whole roof was that way. Yep. Had no storage in it.
There's quite a few of them still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the roof. It was white with the Union Jack on top of it. And, but like it turned out to be a giant lemon.
Oh, that's a bummer.
It was a fun one while it lasted, but yeah, couldn't trust it in a parking lot because people were always trying to damage it. It was a whole thing.
Jeez.
Yeah. So I went from that to a Mustang.
Oh.
GT.
Okay.
And I think I hold the record for like totaling a car at the slowest speed.
Oh, okay. Now this sounds like a very interesting story.
How fast?
Like 3 miles an hour.
Oh.
Yeah. I was pulling out of...
That's pretty slow.
Yeah. I was pulling out of my husband's family like restaurant parking lot, and there was a highway right there, and I went to pull out, and I slid on black ice, and my car, just being real wood drive, just drifted into the side embankment. Geez. Hit the sensor just right, and so I'm sitting there, and there was somebody else in my car, and I was like, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, are you okay? And it's boom. Then the airbags went off. Well, because back then when the airbags went off.
Like it was a delay?
Yes.
What?
We come out, we're like gagging on the smoke and stuff. And so literally because the airbags were worth so much back then, it exceeded the value, so they totaled the car.
Right.
I totaled the car like 3 miles an hour.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I hold a record somewhere. It's got to be.
It has to be.
Yeah, but Chad was like, this car is so small. He's 6'4", so anytime he would get it, the dash was into his kneecaps and stuff, and he hated driving it.
Yeah, how did he fit?
That's why it stayed my car, because he stayed out of it. Now he likes driving my car. My car gets bigger and bigger and bigger. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm only one size, but my car gets bigger. And it's not like I got a whole boatload of kids. So, I got 3.
I just like being high up.
That is it. So, that's for sure.
That's why I just want like SUV.
Yes.
At least. Like, I don't want to be in a car.
No. Yeah.
I want to be, I'm so short all the time.
Yep.
At least let me be tall while I'm driving.
Yes. And the way people drive, you need to feel tall. Like, there's no way I could go to a sedan. There's no way.
No way.
Yeah. I got to feel tall and enlarged, you know?
Yeah.
Big body coming through.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I used to drive a Suburban.
Oh, there you go.
And that was a very large vehicle.
It's like a bus.
But I loved it.
Yes. Well, because people move. It's amazing.
I mean, I'm just coming over.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
You can move or
I
not.
mean, yeah, you can move or not, but I'm bigger than you, so.
It's so funny, too. It happens often whenever, like, I'm on the highway, especially at night.
Yeah.
With my blacked out SUV. I don't know if they think I'm a cop or something, but I'll be coming up and they all just move over.
You're looking shady.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, we don't want to be around that.
Yeah. Yeah. They just move it out of the way. It's probably for the best, you know.
That's great.
Yeah. Now, does your daughter have any vehicle she has in mind?
Well, as of right now, she's going to be inheriting my mom's old vehicle.
Okay.
So it's sitting at our house.
Oh, just waiting for her.
Waiting.
Oh.
It's just
okay.
ready for her.
It's like, pick me, drive me.
It's like, please. Please.
Oh.
So yeah, it's just like a mid-size SUV.
That's perfect,
So
though.
I'm sure, yeah, because, you know, she doesn't, I don't want her in something really little, but I mean, obviously she doesn't want to drive anything really, like, she doesn't even want to drive my Bronco, which to me, I don't feel like my Bronco's big.
Right.
But for people, I guess, that aren't used to driving a larger vehicle, like higher, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So I think the size is good, even though she would probably be happier with something a little smaller.
Right.
But, yeah, we're just...
Well, and she's the manager of the dance, right?
Right.
So does she have to lug a lot of stuff and everything, too?
I mean, not on her own.
Okay.
It usually goes, like, with the team.
Okay.
But she keeps them organized.
Yeah.
Lots of costumes.
Yeah, that has to be a lot, man.
It's a lot, but she loves it. And she's made some really great friends on the team. So.
With that, do the costumes stay at the school, or do they go with the girls?
No, they are school costumes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's another funny thing is, you know, they buy costumes for whatever fits the girls that year. So then the next year, you know, they kind of have to be like, okay, well, see if this one fits you or see if that one fits you, or we might have to take it in a little bit or whatever. And you just wear what you wear. But when you're a senior, you get first pick, right? You get the ones that fit you the best.
Yeah.
And then as you like get younger and younger, you just get the leftovers.
Oh my gosh.
So it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they are very expensive costumes.
Yeah.
Especially their drill team ones. They're the ones that they use for the football games and
everything.
Right. But
and how often do they have to replace them?
Well, they actually just replaced at Hayes High School anyway. They just replaced the main uniform for the first time in a number of years. I don't know exactly how many years, but because my other daughter was in her costume all 4 years.
Yeah.
So I don't know how often those are changed out, but every year they do get new costumes for like competitions and things like that. So like football season, they mainly just wear the one.
Yeah.
And then competition season, they have a different outfit for each dance.
Gotcha.
So there are bukus of costumes and bins at the school that apparently there's just a lot going on.
Dang.
So her goal every summer is to go in and get everything organized for the year.
And make sure it's clean and all of that
Yeah, they have
stuff.
to wash them. I mean, they have washers at the school too.
Yeah.
But the girls are supposed to wash their uniforms before they turn them back in.
Supposed to be.
But
yeah,
not all of them do.
Yeah.
And then they're stinky.
Ugh, they like stand up on their own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of gross.
Ugh, yeah.
But I mean, I guess a high school girl smells better than a high school boy. So.
Oh yeah, because don't the boys don't they rent out like their helmets and all of that stuff?
I don't know. I feel like the school takes care of cleaning the boys' stuff, but I'm not for sure because I don't have a son that plays high school sports. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. Middle school, they left their uniforms.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
Questionable.
Yeah.
Well, and they travel a lot, right?
Not too much.
Okay.
Just during competition season, they'll have like out of town competitions on the weekends. And then they do like one out of town trip.
Oh.
So this year they went to Houston.
Okay.
Next year they will probably go somewhere out of state. Every 4 years they do an out of state trip.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So the girls that are on the team all 4 years will at least get 1 year.
Yeah.
Of an out of state trip, which is really fun for them. So I'm interested to see what it's going to be next year. They'll go out of state. So.
Yeah, because probably a lot of those kids, I mean, they might not have an opportunity to go out of state until they get to like college level or even older. You know, so to experience that is really cool.
Yeah, it surprises me like how many even adults like haven't left the state.
Oh,
you know?
I have this conversation with people when they're like, I'm born and raised here, you know, and I've never left here. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty sad.
Yeah, like leave. Come back if you want to.
I was born in Dallas, never left Texas.
But you left the city. Like, you went from one city to the other. I mean, there's some that are like, I'm a Hayes, born and raised, and I've been here forever. And I'm like,
move back to Garland.
Yeah. I'm like, there's a whole big world out there. I feel like at one point in time in life, you need to go leave your state and live somewhere else, like to experience what life is and get out of your bubble, you know?
Right.
Because it's like, I joke about my hometown. There's a lot of people in my hometown that live there. They work at the schools that and I'm like, wholesome, like you've never left, you know?
Right.
Like, there's a big world out there and there's big problems. And like, you think that these are just your problems. There's a big world with other problems out there, you know?
Right.
So, but yeah. One thing I never understood, maybe you both have had seniors, you can explain this. The whole painting of a parking spot. What is that?
Fundraiser.
You know.
So they raise money for the school for it that our tax dollars already paid for?
Yeah, I'm guessing I don't know what fund it goes to.
I don't know what it goes to.
The senior party. Like
maybe senior class thing.
Senior graduation party thing that they do.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I guess it depends on the school.
And then when you have like a football event, do you pay for parking too?
No.
No.
You can.
I think you can. You can pay for VIP
there is
parking.
the option to buy parking for football games.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
And that's also a fundraiser,
I don't do that.
Okay.
I think there was like $10 to park in a front spot.
Yeah.
Like maybe have a row.
Yeah. I've always thought it was interesting that like tax dollars pay for that land and then you're charging like twice a year, 3 times a year for that same spot.
Well, I mean, the kids do have to pay to park at school.
Oh, yeah. That's weird to me.
But yeah.
Yeah, and then they have to pay for their parking spot, too.
And then they have to pay for the paint to decorate their parking spot.
Yes.
So it's very expensive to be a senior parking. But hey, you get to drive to school.
Yeah.
And you get your own spot that's yours.
Yeah.
And it's customized.
Yes.
Only one of our kids did it.
Really? Mm-hmm. The other one did it?
They didn't care.
No. Yeah, see, we didn't have that at our school.
Julia being on dance, I think all the dance.
Right.
Pretty much all the Rosettes did it. And
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The same at Hayes. Too.
Yep.
Yeah, at our school, we didn't do the whole painting, like you came in, you found your spot. We didn't have to pay for parking or anything.
Right.
Like, I don't even really remember
the same spot, you just get there
parking.
early.
Yes, that's exactly what it was.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think we had spots either in high school.
Yeah, it's just always interesting to me, especially at Hayes, you know, like with the events too. It's like that parking lot fills up and then the whole like 2770 fills up too.
Yeah.
It's dangerous going down there.
So many people park up and down.
Yeah. Well, and you pick up your kids there.
Yeah.
It's like these kids that jump out into traffic.
Oh, girl, don't even get me started. I mean, so I pick up my daughter from school every day. Like, you could ask her how many times I yell at the kid. I'm like, this is not a crosswalk.
Yes.
You are not supposed to be crossing this road.
Right.
Yet they do.
And they don't
no
even
one's
look.
stopping them.
No, and they don't even look half the time.
They don't even look.
Oh, I was coming back last week and I got stuck in Hayes traffic right there. And there was kids jumping out from like the center median where there was cars sitting there waiting to turn and they're just jumping out, not even looking. I'm like, this is like Frogger. This is like Frogger.
Yes.
Like, this is just insane to me. And so I know it's been discussed where people are like, you know, there needs to be a stoplight there. You know, even the mayor is like, oh, let's do a roundabout, you know, with the Hayes logo. And I'm like, we need another roundabout. Like, you know, I need a hole in my head. Like, we don't need another roundabout.
We just need something.
Yeah.
Because
I'm like, could we do like
working.
a walking bridge?
Oh, that would be great.
Right?
I don't know if that would help the traffic situation, but it would definitely help the kids from not being, you know, almost hit.
Yes.
Because they don't care.
No. And
I mean, really, it all started once that Plum Creek North opened.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, it's
and they shouldn't have
worse.
let those entrance exit points right there. They should have made them all on Kohler's Crossing side.
Yeah. Or further down.
Or further down.
Right.
It's right there is where, I mean, and everybody parks in there. And I'm sure those residents aren't probably happy with that.
Probably not.
because when they got to get in and out of their neighborhood, you know, I'm like, maybe if they have a constable out there or a sheriff, like just maybe scaring the kids straight and not like they're
really
on their
surprised.
Phones, not paying attention.
Because we got emails about that at the beginning of the year, you know, like students are not to cross here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nobody is doing anything to tell them no.
No. What is interesting, when my kids went to Wimberley, the high school is literally right across the street from the middle school.
Okay.
And so they would have the vice principal and the principal out directing traffic and stuff. And if kids weren't waiting to cross when they were stopping, they're yelling at them and they're like giving them detention and whatnot. So I'm like, maybe something like that, like a principal out there realizing it is a situation and trying to change it up and stuff, because I'm like, it would be horrible if something happened.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
That would.
I mean,
bad.
Granted, nobody's going to be flying down that road at that time of day.
No, you would hope not.
But it's just like the amount of students that just don't care.
No,
they think that they can just go wherever they want, and nobody's gonna. But there might be a day somebody's not paying attention.
Or not see them at all. Like and a lot. And the crazy thing is you've got high schoolers that come in and out of there. They're not alert and paying attention as like a mom that knows all these things, you know.
Right.
So they're just have one thing on their mind to get out and away from school. Yeah. They might not be paying attention to everything else going around them. Yeah. But yeah, it's like I would go down the street to the crosswalk and maybe go over or something. Yeah, but it's terrifying. Like I said, once again, you decide to build all these schools on these major roads. I know. And no plan for all the growth that's coming with it.
Yeah, and like now these schools are stuck there.
Yeah, and that community's not even done being built.
Oh, boy, it's going to be very large.
Yeah, and then there's the church right there, too.
Wow.
That's a massive church going on right there. Where? It's right there where that exit entrance point is. You see where the blue? There's a church going in that entrance area.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a big old sign for some church that's going in right there. So that will draw a lot of traffic that way too. Well, maybe you could do like a shuttle to the church parking lot. Pick up your kid.
Now you're thinking. Now you're thinking.
You know, it's the pick up and drop off lines I don't miss in my life at all.
Yeah. So how long have you been homeschooling?
2 years.
Okay. And it's what works best for you guys, and
it was really a decision that we made as a family.
Okay.
And my oldest Liam was about to go into middle school, and I am a parent that I want to see it with my own eyes before I judge something. And so I was part of the Text and Watch Committee, which is something they formed after Uvalde. Okay. And we would just go and be extra eyes and ears for sporting events and pep rallies and stuff like that. And then I decided to start subbing and being in the classroom.
Okay.
And that's where I saw all the things. So I did the high school, I did middle school and elementary levels, and it didn't matter what grade. It was just chaos. And it was really one day I left the middle school and I came home and I said to Chad, like, I physically did not feel safe. Yeah. Like, there's no way I could send him there. And then I had been thinking about it and it was weighing heavy on me. And Chad's like, well, let's just, think about it and pray on it and we'll figure what, is our direction. And I happened to be at my Liam and Avery school, and I was waiting for them to walk out, and I was getting ready to walk out with them, and Liam says to me, I'm scared to go to middle school. Oh. And he's like, you've met him. He's like my fearless child. And before I can even ask him why he was scared, Avery jumped in and said, I'm scared for you to go too. And I said, why are you scared for him to go? And she said, well, who's going to protect me when he's gone? Aww. And it hit me because she had been dealing with horrible bullying, that there was times that Liam would walk around a corner and a boy had just punched her and he would stand up for her and stuff. And so, and it dawned on me, they have been always together since they were at Hay CLC. Yeah. Like, they were together from the very beginning. And so it was, the bullying issue was a lot. And Liam is very much a kid that he just wants to go to school. Like, he knows school is for learning and that is it, you know? And so he's always been finishing his math curriculum by January for the whole year.
He's and like, I'm done.
Yes. And so he would get frustrated because other kids wouldn't. And so he'd help try and tutor them and stuff. And it would, this is supposed to be his free time to do something, but they're goofing off during their time they're supposed to be doing it. So he felt like he was getting punished. And so I'd have some conversations with some teachers. I'm like, just because he can doesn't mean he needs to be your built-in tutor or your TA or whatever. Yeah. Like, why is he getting punished because these kids don't want to do what they're supposed to be doing? Mm-hmm. And so now with homeschooling, he does his work. It takes about 2 hours to do. He moves on with his day. He trains with his football coach and stuff. We go on play dates and everything. We have field trips. But he sits here and he listens to the stuff his friends deal with, and he's just like, well, I don't have to deal with that.
That's true.
That's true. There was one of them that said, yeah, this kid's been just going on and sitting on other people and just farting, and Liam's like, glad I don't have to deal with that.
Jeez, that doesn't sound like fun at all.
It's like that middle school boy phase that they just want to be touchy-feely with each other, but gross at the same time. And Liam's like, I don't have to deal with that,
Yeah.
And so, and then, a lot of his friends are into this girl frenzy.
Right.
And he could care less. He's just got, sports and... and he games, but he has got sports in his school on his mind, and he could care less. He's like, I'm much rather go fishing. And then Avery, it's been such a boost in her self-esteem and confidence. I was having to take her out of school and take her to therapy because of the bullying that was going on at school. And then they want to tell me, oh, we're marking this as a reverse tardy. I'm like, what in the world is this? All I knew is, if I had him in by 10:30 when he did attendance, they were, fine. Oh, no, there's a new rule. If you take him out early, it can be counted against you. And so I'm like, this is some baloney. The only reason I'm having to take her to therapy because you guys won't take care of things here.
Right.
And so I had some choice words with some people. And then Aiden in his class, his kindergarten class, how they did this to the poor teacher. She ended up retiring. She was an amazing teacher. She was Liam's kindergarten teacher and ended up Aiden's kindergarten teacher. Miss Osborne to this day is the best. And her last year, they put probably every child with some sort of behavioral issue in her class.
Oh, gosh.
And, she had 22 kids, and I'd say 18 of them had, some sort of behavioral issue.
Yeah.
And so Aiden became best friends with 3 other. They were the four amigos is what they call themselves, or they call themselves ninjas too. And it was survival of the fittest in that class.
They had to take care of themselves.
It was 3 boys and a girl, and she kept up with the boys, and it was survival of the fittest of those. And it's crazy because out of those 4 kids, 2 of them chose to be homeschooled.
Okay.
And it was they decided to go on to first grade together. And still same thing. Kids were headbutting each other, throwing fits. And and Aiden's just looking at him like, you're too big for this. You're too old for this, And I think part of it is during COVID, we had a college nanny. And I think Aiden thinks he's like a college kid because he went through COVID with the college kid. And his preschool was closed at the time. And so... he doesn't have the same mindset as the kids his age. They're all, trying to make believe and try and play with each other, touchy-feely and stuff. And he looks at him like, no, I don't need to be touched like that. Let's go play football or let's go play soccer or something. He's more mature for his age. So he didn't deal with why are you crying? Why are you throwing a fit because you didn't get your way?
Yeah.
And so seeing those kids in his class doing those things, constantly touching him because they wanted attention for something, it just turned him off. He's like, leave me alone. You know?
Overstimulation.
Yes. And so it's funny. I always post something funny about how they learn. And he likes a fort or a tent. He's all about a fort or tent. Yeah. So he'll be in there doing his work in a blanket fort he makes, And Avery
love making blanket forts.
Yeah, he's obsessed with them. Yeah. And it's so funny too.
We should do a adult date night where you just go and make blanket forts somewhere.
Yes. And put all the pillows on the floor and just lounge on the floor. Yeah. I'm like, I have all these decorative pillows on my couch and they somehow all end up on the floor.
Yeah. Get this out of here.
Yes. And we have a giant sofa upstairs that the kids will do a fort upstairs because we have the recliners too. Yes. So they'll line all the blankets on it and stuff. It's things like that kids, they learn differently and trying to foster that too.
Yeah.
Where Avery, as long as she's got some furry friend with her, she's fine. So she's got the dog with her or a cat with her, and then Liam likes to be outside, so he will literally go veg outside and do his work. So I'm like, as long as we're getting it done, we're good. So
that's cool.
It's been a great decision. We do play with the idea of if they want to go back to high school, go to public school. If it's up to them.
Like if they wanted to give it a try and see if it.
Yeah, we're not going to tell them no. We want them to make the decision.
Right.
But right now, they're all like, no, we're good. And the fact that Liam definitely has his eyes on doing dual credit through like a junior college and getting his, his general studies done before he even graduates. That is something that he loves, and he's very keen on that idea. So, and then even now that they've changed some rules with football, because that's what he wants to do when he goes to college. He wants to play football, is that you can play in junior college and it not count against your years of playing.
Oh, okay.
And so it allows kids to have more opportunities and be seen more, and it also gives them more playing time. And so he's like, if that's the route I go, that's the route I go. But he's got his eyes set on Baylor. I'm like, what kidney do I got to sell?
Yeah.
Can we get a scholarship? It's expensive, which my husband's family member, I think it's my husband knows. He's going to be mad I don't know this. His great-grandfather was the athletic director for Baylor.
Oh.
And then he was also the football coach with, you could look it up. Stagg was his last name. Lyman Stagg. What is his name? His grandfather was Payne. What is his first name? Baylor Payne.
We're going to find this info.
My husband's like, Ashley.
We're going to find this info.
My father-in-law is like, how much do I post on social media about this and you don't pay attention?
Norman Carr Payne.
That's him.
Norman. 1913.
Okay, that was even older.
Wow.
Yes, that's him. Yeah.
So that's Chad's grandfather?
Great-grandfather.
He's a good-looking dude.
Yeah, that's him.
That is crazy.
Yeah, so I'm like, can I have some family heritage discount something? Yeah. Yep.
Graduated from Rush Medical College.
Yep. All the things. Yeah, but he was a doctor. Paging Dr. Payne.
That's so interesting. That's a great name for a doctor.
I know.
Right?
I know.
Well,
I know.
I don't know. You don't want Dr. Payne.
16, 11, and 3 overall in football.
Yep. Yeah, I guess he had, but he coached with, what is the guy's coaching name? He's some famous coach. I don't know.
Well, tell Liam he's got to really
work
hard to
Otherwise, I'm selling a kidney.
Be a bear.
Yeah.
Was it the University of Arkansas?
Yes.
I mean, how much can you sell a kidney for these days?
I don't know. Is there a black market for this? I don't know.
I mean, I might be willing. You only need one, right?
Right. That's what they say. It's a funny story. When I found out I was pregnant, I chose to do a deep research dive, and I saved the Liam and Avery's cord blood and their tissue for a backup insurance policy.
Okay.
So I wonder if since they get to a certain age, if it's not needed, you can sell that to science and get something for it. So I'm like, I don't know. What do I got to sell? But I do know I
think you can really buy almost anything.
Oh, that's kind of terrifying.
It's really scary. I mean, we've looked it up before.
Seriously?
Yeah, you can buy these are things nobody should be buying.
Oh gosh.
Body parts. Yeah.
See,
it's
that's
bad.
straight out of a horror movie.
It's bad.
What are you buying these body parts for?
Research.
Halloween decor?
I mean, it's a little scary.
Food.
No, you got some weird people out there.
Oh my gosh. I am never surprised about how weird things are.
No, it gets worse.
It's like the box that just keeps opening. I just want to close it. Can we close it?
Put all the weird back in the box, please.
Yes, put it back. I don't want to see it. I like rainbows and unicorns, please. Like it's a sick, twisted world that is out there, and the people you think are normal that aren't.
That's the scary thing. Like you just don't know who your neighbor is.
Speaking of, did you see that Casey Anthony is on TikTok?
Oh my gosh, I saw that.
What?
You've not seen this?
No.
She is. What is she calling herself? A legal advocate. For women's rights. I'm like, girl, your daughter would be 20 years old.
What?
Yes. Kid you not.
No,
People are losing it over this. Yes.
Wow.
A legal advocate, women's rights, and LGBTQ or something. But yeah, right here in the car.
I don't know why I'm giving her airtime, but
Jeez.
who's she talking to though?
I don't even know.
Like, who's her audience?
I have no. Yeah, how many?
That is a great question.
Yeah, how many followers does she have? It's crazy. It's like, like I said, I'm not.
She's probably got a bunch of followers because people want to see what the crazy happens.
Oh my gosh, it's insane.
This must not be her real
account.
She's only got 234 followers, unless she's just people really don't want to follow her.
Oh my gosh,
Wow.
Which is possible.
Yeah.
That's it, because it's got 27,000.
When I saw, I was like, this is wild.
That's weird.
You do know she was a photographer, right?
No.
A family photographer.
I did not know that.
Yes.
And
Okay.
they decided to be a murderer.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, what doesn't shock me nowadays is these people that like fantasize and idolize these people.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's just wild to me. They commit these heinous crimes and like the one that is
the attention.
Yeah, it's like the Joker guy that he looked like he tattooed his face to look like the Joker.
Oh, yeah.
And all these women are so attracted to him. I'm like, he killed 2 women. Like, it's just crazy to me. We went to in Folsom. It's known for Folsom Prison.
Okay.
And weed.
Never tried it to this day. And it's funny backstory. When I grew up playing competitive soccer, and I went to Sweden, Denmark, and Finland when I was 10.
Oh, cool.
And I ran into ZZ Top in the airport of Stockholm, Sweden. And the only reason I knew who they were was because, one, my dad was a fan of them. But 2, they were on this Mother Goose Rock and Rhyme Disney Channel movie. And so that's how I knew who they were. And I walked right up to them and I was like, hey, I'm Ashley. And they were like, oh, hi, where are you from? I was like, Folsom. And they're like, Folsom Prison Blues. Okay. And I had no idea what they were talking about.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, whatever, you know. And it wasn't until later when they filmed the movie that I caught on to what they were talking about and stuff. But this December, we went back to my hometown to go visit, and I took the kids to Folsom Prison, and you could go to the gift shop and everything, and you see all, like, the famous people that have stayed there. Like, one of the Menendez brothers was there and stuff, and you see all of they call it the art wall, and it's, like, all of them getting creative, making shanks and stuff.
Oh.
It was hilarious. But, so we were in there, and I said, there was one woman that is in their books that had married 4 murderers. And I'm like, that's just her type. And so we got on the topic of it. And he's like, Ashley, Saturdays are like family day. And these women come dressed the nines to show up and see their boo that's in there that they met behind the wall. Like, it wasn't like they had a relationship prior. Like, what in your, like, mind?
Yes, I don't understand that.
No, I cannot wrap my head around that.
Yeah.
I'm like, this person committed a heinous crime and you think you're safe with them, like your heart is safe with them. Like, I don't
understand their thought process at all.
No. I mean, and like the people are all about, you know, yes, how she was treated was horrible, but like Gypsy Rose. And then she got married while she was in there, and then comes out and she gets a divorce, and now she's like has a baby and stuff, and all these people idolizing, fangirling over her. I'm like, she killed her mom. Like,
yeah. Let's go back to the facts of what has happened.
Oh, like, can we stop idolizing people and just like realize that who they are is like who they are? Like, it's just like when people idolize Hollywood people, I'm like, they're just regular people.
Regular people.
And at the end of the day, they're probably not great people too.
Yeah.
Like, the more you find out about them, I'm like the whole Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni thing, I'm like, and then of course you watch the old OC episodes or Gossip Girl, and you're like, oh yeah, she wasn't nice to begin with.
Oops.
Yeah, and she's gotten so far along just being this way. But it's like you try and raise your kids not to be that.
Right.
Teach them morals and values.
Yes.
And that, you know, just to treat people with kindness.
Exactly.
I feel like that's just a dying thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Our future with kids is kind of scary in this world.
It's just changed so much.
It is.
I mean, social media in general has just changed so much.
It's toxic. It's flat out toxic.
For sure.
There's time. I mean, I post a lot more on Instagram than I do on Facebook.
Yeah.
Because I find Facebook to be just toxic.
It's definitely, yeah.
Yeah. It's just everybody's opinion, and I'm right, you're wrong, and it's just so argumentative all the time, and then also a gazillion ads that I don't even want to see. I'm like, why am I seeing this? And
I hardly ever post on Facebook. I mean, I love Instagram mainly because I just want to look at pretty photos. Like, I just want to look at pictures. I was even mad when like the Reels started. I was like, this is not Instagram.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Like, I just want photos. Like, this is the platform I want. I don't want it to change.
Right.
Because I don't want to make videos.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
That's a whole nother thing.
Yes. And
like,
it's trying to manage all of it too.
I know.
Especially like in a business aspect. And they constantly change the algorithm. So it's like 1 minute posts are important. Then the next minute is Reels are important. Then it's carousel. And now you could add up to 20 photos on a carousel, you know? And
it's a 1 minute reel, or it's a 15-second reel, or it's a 3 minute reel.
Or, now we don't care about the comments. We just care about the likes. And I'm like, oh my goodness.
Now it's not the subscribers, it's the returning viewers.
Yes.
And blah, blah, blah.
Yes. It's I don't know how anybody stays on top of that.
It's a constantly changing game. I have to stay on top of it all the time, or I get left behind.
It's exhausting.
With the podcast stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad that's you, not me.
I'm glad that you're figuring it out because, I mean, if my job was to keep up with it, I would.
Once you kind of get in the environment, it becomes like riding a bike. You're just keeping up with stuff because you're in it.
Right.
I'll watch a video or two here and there that'll be updating on. Gary Vee's a really good one to go to. For social media stuff.
Yes, I follow him a lot. Somehow I ended up in a Zoom with him.
Media.
I
a good one.
Yeah. I ended up in a Zoom with him, and my husband upstairs was like, is that Gary Vee? I'm like, mm-hmm. He's like, how'd you end up in a Zoom with Gary Vee? I was like, I don't know.
Like, scoot
funny.
over.
I've been asked. I don't know. Here I am. Like,
that's hilarious.
Like, yeah, he's a hoot. That guy is funny. And I think people don't realize a lot of what people post on social, like especially Instagram, influencers are very known for it. It's fake. Like,
so fake.
Yes. And I'm like, you're posting these picture perfect things all the time, and like throw the realness in there too, you know? So it's just, and I'm so over the influence aspect, trying to sell me something all the time. All the time.
I'm like, can I just have a friend tell me an actual review of a product? Like,
yes. Yeah, and you'll start to follow them, and then you realize, wait a second, the skincare they sold me on, they're not using anymore.
Right? They're on to the next.
Chantel today. You know Chantel Russell?
Yeah.
I was talking to her today. AI is going to be taking over the influencers. They won't be needed anymore. Because AI now looks, you can make an AI video that looks just like humans.
Yes.
And you can program it to say whatever you want. They don't talk back. They don't demand more money. They're always on point. They're never late with the video or their review.
Yeah.
The review is always whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to be able to know the difference because they look just like humans. And so influencers are going to be gone.
Really? Do they know this?
I think they're probably about to find out.
Because I was kind of, we use TikTok. But when they were like banning TikTok, I'm like, okay, some of y'all.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, their whole business is influencers on TikTok.
Yeah, and you know what's
things.
shocking to me? It's like, just like any industry, you don't know how it's going to end or the longevity of it. And you've got a lot of them where their husbands up and quit their job.
Oh, for sure.
And like they're traveling and doing all the things with them and stuff. I'm like, when this all comes crashing down, what are you going to do?
What's your backup plan?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, you know, I had my second baby. I'm about to have a third baby. I'm like, okay, like how are you going to make income when this all disappears?
I mean, I legit think people have babies just to like be on social media. Like, how many babies can I have?
Yeah.
How many?
Yeah.
How many people will watch me?
Yes.
Dress my kids or feed my kids or. And I'm like, they're just doing this for attention.
Well, yeah, and then you got that one that she got arrested for child abuse. She had the YouTube channel and stuff.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
I just watched that documentary.
I haven't dived into that one yet,
boy.
but yeah,
that is just crazy.
Yeah. Well, and then you got like the crazies of like mom talk or whatnot.
Oh yeah.
And then that turned into a whole thing, you know? And I'm like, okay, you're making Utah proud. You know?
Yes.
And then now there's like a Texas version of them. I'm like, okay, I can't. Like
maybe it was their way of like wanting to bring more men into Mormonism.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. It was bizarre. When I ended up down that,
like, now what?
Yeah, when I ended up down that rabbit hole during, I think it was like COVID when it all happened, and I was like, wait, what is going on? Like, there's swingers. Like, do they all know they're swingers? Like,
right?
I'm like, we got a swinger population here in Buda, but you know about it. You know, you avoid those people. Like, you avoid Nates on certain nights. Like, it's a whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I'll never forget.
Have you walked into a swingers party unaware?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. And I've been asked twice. Yes. So one time happened, I was at dinner with my best friend, and we were at Mudbugs. It was back when they had the milk and cookies as a dessert. Way back when they first opened. And her and I were having dinner, and I could notice the guy at the bar just kept like glancing at me, and I really wasn't paying attention. And then all of a sudden I glance up and I see this flash.
Oh.
And I was like, what the heck just happened? And one of the waiters comes over and they're like, he just took your picture. I was like, yeah, I'm quite aware of that. Like, that just happened.
Awkward.
And so I'm telling her, like, don't leave me, you know? And so we're having our conversation and enjoying things. And then the next thing we know, milk and cookies shows up at the table.
Oh.
And so the server drops it off and she's like, this was ordered for you. I was like, we didn't order it. And she's like, I know someone else did. And I was like, well, who did? And she's like, I'm not sure. Let me find out. So she comes back and she's like, oh, that gentleman over there did. I was like, okay, this is getting weird, you know?
Yes.
So we're still enjoying our meal. And then the next thing I know, I glance up at her and I was like, oh my God, he's coming over here. So he comes over and he was like, yeah, I took your picture and sent it to my girlfriend. And I'm like, okay. And he was like, she's interested in you and wants to talk to you. I'm like, what? Like, and this was me like not knowing what this was.
What is happening right now?
And so I was like, interested in what? Like,
she want to buy a house?
I'm like, what? And I'm like, why am I being courted right now? And they're like, interested in joining us. And I'm like, huh? Like, what?
Joining you.
Yeah, and I said, no, I'm not interested. I'm very much married, happily married, 3 kids. I'm good. Don't need anything else, you know? And he's like, well, here's her number in case you're interested. And leaves me her number, Grace. And so he walks out, and I'm thinking he's gone. Okay. Well, then he comes back in. And so he goes, can I show you a video she wants to wanted me to send you? And I'm like, what is happening? And so it's
wow.
I literally calling. It was just like, sure, you know? And so we're like, where is this going? So it's this video, and she's just like doing this to the camera and stuff. And bless her heart, like, was missing an arm and stuff, and I was like, I am not interested. You know, he's like, well, we have an Airbnb around the corner. If I'm like, dude, I'm not interested.
No means no.
And so it came to the point where I was afraid to leave the restaurant, and he just kept hanging around. And so he finally goes outside, but then he's sitting outside on like that little stoop area. So then they move us to the bar so they could keep track on us, and we literally shut down Mudbugs because I was afraid to leave the restaurant because of this crazy person outside.
He might have just like stuck you in a van and taken you away.
Nah. in his poncho. He was wearing one of those like ponchos.
Oh.
So I was like, what is going on? Like, what world am I in? Like,
Wow.
yeah. So that was when I learned about
Okay.
the swingers. And then there's been some incidents at Nate's. And then one time at Mavericks, this girl, she was like, do you want to be a unicorn? And I was like, and
Who doesn't?
and I had
Sure.
It's a trick question.
I had a couple margaritas, and I was like,
Sure.
"Oh, I'm good." And she's like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think I'm good." And, you know, totally not clue what that even meant.
I don't know what that means.
So I came home, Ashley, my best friend, just dying laughing at the whole experience. She's not telling me exactly what happened, you know.
Okay.
And so she was our driver. So I get home and I said to Chad, I was like, yeah, I was asked if I want to be a unicorn. And Chad goes, I hope you said no. I said, yeah, I did. Why? And he's like, do you know what that means? I was like, no, why? Like, he tells me, I was like, oh, very glad I said no. Like, I had no idea. You learn so much at places around. Like pineapples, I learned what those were.
Oh, yeah, she told me about pineapples.
Did learn about the pineapple.
Yeah,
So now when I'm at a house and I see a pineapple on the fridge or something,
Yes.
or on decoration, I'll take a picture. I'm like, Ashley, I'm in a swinger's house.
I know. Well, see, this is funny because I had this pineapple
gosh.
that my daughter wanted because
Yeah.
it's a light up, pretty pineapple. and like it was sitting in my house. It's like a lamp, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have to get rid of this damn pineapple now because people are going to come in and think that
Yep.
this is what I do.
Oh, well, and also
yeah.
there's
Isn't
the
it supposed to be a symbol of good luck, though, or something?
there's supposed or hospitality or
Hospitality?
something like that.
I
It's supposed to
don't
be like a
know.
southern thing of like hospitality, but somehow it got taken
hijacked.
over, like everything else. And then peacocks are another like theme of theirs. And so
Okay.
I was.
I did not know that.
I had a client that was interested in a house, and I'm looking at the pictures online, and I'm like, why is that pillow upside down of a pineapple? And I'm like, in the bedroom, and I'm like paying attention, and then by the pool, there's all these peacock statues. I'm like, I don't know what happens here, what kind of parties they have. Like,
Oh.
need some sage
Probably
up in
some
here.
stories at that place.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I had a crazy story with a buyer one time. So we went to go view the house, and as we went to view the house, the wife was coming out of the house with a bunch of guns and cases. And I'm like, it's Texas. You know, that's normal.
Okay.
Remove them from the house. I always advise my clients to do it,
Take
right?
them out.
And so we're in the house and like nothing too odd about it. So then he wants to put an offer in. So we put an offer in, and I asked for the sun, the moon, and the stars. Like closing costs, go below ask, all the things. And I'm thinking I'm going to get shot down, right? They're like, okay, you have a deal. I'm like, what?
Wow. That was too easy.
The house hasn't been on the market very long. Like, that's okay. And so everything was like smooth sailing until right before all of a sudden we get alerted that, oh, yeah, the seller is going to have a power of attorney. And so I didn't think too much of it. I was like, okay, maybe he's gone for work or something or whatnot, right? Well, then we go do the final walkthrough, and I'm out front, and the neighbor comes out. And I said, what's the story with the seller? And he goes, do you really want to know? And my client was like, yeah. I was like, oh, no, oh, no, oh, no. He goes, do you remember a situation that happened to make the news recently about a man that was doing inappropriate things in the front window with kids outside? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, this was the house. I looked at it, I was like, you better sage it, cleanse it, do all the things possible.
Jeez.
And I said, did y'all see him do it? Like, how did he
Yeah.
get hot? And they're like, oh, that guy across the street over here works for ADT, and his cameras caught it.
Oh,
And
geez.
apparently it wasn't his first offense. So the power of attorney was because he was still in jail. She was not letting him out. She was
Jeez.
divorcing him while he was in there, a whole shebang. And
Took
that's
all his guns.
yeah, and that's why she didn't care if they made any money. She was just like,
She
I'm going to
just
show
wanted
him.
to get rid of it.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's
Well,
like,
hopefully your seller is happy with that.
oh, we sold the house later.
Okay.
He made a good penny off of it, but
Good
yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
A lot of sage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of sage. You see some interesting things that happen in stories. I'm sure you deal with it with clients
I
too.
feel like real estate, though, is where some of the good ones are.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, just like house stories, people that own the houses and
the
situations that happen at the houses. And
I haven't done a murder house yet, but I've done a couple of suicide houses.
Really?
Yeah.
Do they have like a vibe when you go into them? Like a
I
feeling?
knew going in. Well, I didn't know going in when I got there. It was all repainted white.
Oh.
Like the whole place, and I was like, "Oh, look, just repainted. Everything's brand new and fresh." He's like, "Yeah, it was that room over there."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
There should be like a whole docu-series on things like that happen, and you have to sell the house.
Yeah.
You know, and how much you lose value.
So much happens in houses nobody knows because it's a private house.
Yep. Yeah.
And you're only really supposed to. You have to disclose a murder, right? But not a suicide.
No. Yeah. You don't have to disclose a suicide. Yeah.
And I've been in a few where the person had died in the
Yeah.
old person had died.
Yeah.
In the house.
Natural causes. Yeah.
In that bed right there that I'm standing next to.
Yeah.
Taking pictures of the room. And he's, the owner, son, telling me the story about how he watched his dad die in that room. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah. Lately, a majority of my listings are either like relocation or divorce.
Yeah.
A lot of divorce situations.
Done a lot of those too.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's just like times are tough or what, and some of them are nasty divorces. Like, I'm like, let's have separate text messages. We cannot be in a group chat.
Yeah.
So
you do a whole episode on real estate stories.
Oh my
Client
gosh.
stories.
Yes. And it's kind of like weddings, and you're making the biggest purchase of your life, and it brings out all kinds of colors. So
yeah, very emotional. For sure. I mean,
yeah,
selling something that maybe you raised your kids in, or your first home, or I mean, so many people have memories attached to where they live.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very personal thing, and that trying to remove the personal aspect to it is so hard too. So it's like, okay, life coach, therapist, counselor, negotiator.
Yeah.
Here I am.
All the things.
What do you need from me today?
Yeah.
Well,
Jeez.
So what plans do you have for this summer outside of photography?
Well, I always try to do some kind of a summer trip with the kids.
Oh.
So I haven't decided where I want to go this year. I had actually never been to California until a couple years ago.
Okay.
So,
how was that?
It was great.
Yeah.
Went to San Diego, went to LA.
That's beautiful.
Did a lot of
Diego.
touristy things.
Yeah.
The San Diego Zoo.
Yes.
Like, did not see it all. Obviously, we only went for one day.
Oh yeah,
it's
beaches.
Huge.
It's huge.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. So much fun. The year before that, I went to Colorado.
Okay.
I lived a lot on the east part of the United States, like Pensacola, Florida, North Carolina. I lived in Virginia for a little while. So I had seen a lot of that side of the country, but I hadn't really gone west a whole lot.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, I want to go north? I want to go south? I don't know, but I need to start deciding soon because it's already March.
I think photography-wise, Alaska.
Yeah.
That'd be fun, and especially in the summertime. It's pretty there too.
Definitely.
And you're not going to melt.
Right. Yeah.
And there's so much nature.
Because we're already melting here, so why would we want to melt?
Just depends on the day.
Yeah. I know.
I feel like one day you're in your shorts, the next day you're in pants. It doesn't make any sense.
Right. And then it's super cold in the morning.
Yes.
And then you're so hot.
Yes.
It's a 40-degree swing.
Yeah. It's 4 seasons in one day.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might have a downpour in the morning.
Yep.
And then it's sunny and clear in the afternoon.
Yep. Yeah. Well, so do you guys go with all the kids or just the younger two, or?
It depends. So I invite them. Sometimes my oldest, is yes or no.
Yeah.
My daughter that's in college right now, she'll come home for the summer. Mm-hmm. Which will be nice because I know that she's dorm life, Yeah. Who loves dorm life, really?
Yeah.
It's just small.
Yeah.
Kind of gross.
Yeah.
And, so she's ready to be back to her room for a few months, and then she'll go back and hopefully get an apartment for next year and have a little more space. And then the younger two normally always go.
Yeah.
So it's really just now that they're getting older and they're starting to move out, it's like the dynamics are changing.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like when they're little, you just like, okay, guys, pack up, let's go. This is what we're doing.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, can you get off of work? Or, you know, it's just, so that's why I need to plan and be like, okay, this is the week. These are the dates. This is where it is. Do you want to go? Do you not? Because I'm going to buy tickets and I need, I need all the info.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of want to do a road trip this year.
Okay.
I feel like, you know, we did the flying thing, which is fine too. I don't know. You just have to have so much time because of where we live in Texas just to get out of Texas.
It's a day.
Like a day.
It's a whole day.
It's a whole day. So that's kind of what I struggle with the most is because it's like I love road trips, but
yes,
you gotta have a lot of time.
Yes.
And I don't usually take a ton of time off.
Yeah.
Just because I have babies that are born
all the time. All the time.
And so I really try not to be gone more than like about a week to 8-10 days at the most.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to like not be able to capture someone's baby.
Mm-hmm. Well, that and like, is there other newborn photographers like here that you would even like recommend if you're not available? Because like you're the go-to.
I am the only one like in this particular area that does the studio work that I do. I mean, there might be a couple that are very similar. I know there's a girl in San Marcos that does very similar work to me. And then I have a photographer friend in South Austin that does very similar work. So yeah, I mean, I have had to like say, hey, can you be my backup?
Yeah.
Like if this baby's born and I'm out, you know, and so we kind of just work it out.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of photographers that do lifestyle sessions. So, you know, that's always an option too. I used to do a lot more actually, what we call fresh 48s.
Yes.
Which I love.
I used to do those too.
Yeah. So I have not done many since COVID. I'm not going to lie. Like
really?
COVID has just wiped out most of that. Yeah. I don't know if people just like forget that, you know, it's
an option.
Yeah. But I love it. I just love the rawness. I mean, I don't know if you remember, I used to be a nurse before I did photography.
Yes.
And so like, I just love being in the hospital. I mean, I don't love hospitals, but I love like, it just takes me back to that time when I was nursing.
Yeah.
And, you know, just like, oh, I used to like do this as my job. I used to be a postpartum nurse.
Yep.
You know, and so like, it's kind of nostalgic.
That's why you're so good with babies.
Yeah. I mean, I've held so many babies.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Looky there.
Who's that?
Oh, no.
That's Bill Payne.
That's your great grandfather.
Yeah.
In-law.
In-law.
In-law. Let's get that right. In-law.
Oh, yeah, that's somebody else.
In-law.
That's funny.
No, that's why you're so good with babies is because I mean, the importance of, you know, a labor and delivery nurse is everything.
Right.
You guys practically deliver the baby.
I can help moms, you know, if they have questions. I mean, granted, I haven't been in the game for a while, but I mean, it's still the same basics, you know, like if they need help breastfeeding or something, like I can help you.
Yes.
Or, you know, like sometimes I might pick out something like on a baby that, you know, like, so there was this family that I photographed in their home. Gosh, this was quite a while back, probably at least 8 to 9 years ago. And every time I moved their baby's arm for a pose or something, like the baby would scream. And I'm like, something is just off here. You know, like you just know. I've held and handled and posed so many babies that like when something just doesn't seem right, you just know.
Yep.
And I was like, I think your baby has a broken collarbone, which
is common. Yeah.
It happens a lot with birth. But I mean, you kind of need to know that because you don't want to like be lifting the arm and things like that.
Or swaddling him a certain way.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you want the arm to be just like close to the body. And the next day they had a pediatrician appointment and she's like, oh my gosh, you were right. She's like, our baby has a broken collarbone.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, the baby was fine.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, it's like things like that like I notice.
Yeah.
And, I can be like, oh, well, try this or try that. Gas.
Well, yeah, it's great that you are in tune with that because a lot of new moms don't know what to expect. Like, especially if it's their first. They don't know. They're, navigating this all newness and stuff. And since you are common with a lot of things, I mean, my first thing when Liam, brand new mom, and his umbilical cord fell off what I thought was early. And luckily, Chad's cousin, happened to be a PA. And she's like, oh, everything looks fine. He's good to go, So just having that second opinion helps. Yeah. So it's like, as a new mom, you're like trying to navigate this newness and ask all these questions.
Being a first-time mom is scary.
Yeah,
I mean,
is.
You created this life inside you. You pushed it out.
Yeah.
You're just trying to get back to normal yourself, but you're taking care of this human that depends on you for everything.
Yes.
Especially if you're some people just maybe aren't very natural at parenthood.
Right.
I mean, I feel like I definitely was. It always came very naturally. Can't even say that word today. Naturally.
Word of the day. Slow. Naturally.
Naturally.
Yeah, like it was just like second nature.
Yeah.
But some people just don't have that.
Well, yeah, and I remember, it came pretty natural to me, and I remember asking my OB, like, do I do a sleep pattern or sleep cycle or what, like a sleep training and stuff? And she's like, Ashley, you're going to learn early on that people always have an opinion on something. Right. So the fact that they believe so much in it, they're going to write a book. She was like, do what makes sense for you and your family, And so I was like, I'm not going to fight. Like, I was trying to get him in a bed by a certain time, and I would fight him. I'm like, this is not working. I'm spending an hour and a half fighting this child. Let's just let it naturally happen. And so, yeah, it's like, and each kid is completely different. You have it down to a science, the first one, and the second one throws everything out the window.
Yeah.
Like, Liam was a horrible sleeper, and then Avery would sleep in her jumper, her bouncer, or wherever. And then Aiden, it took it to a whole nother level. He terrified 2 nannies and my mother-in-law, where he randomly would fall asleep in, like, places in the house, and they thought he was lost.
Oh, I've lost a kid. I have literally panicked. I lost a kid one day in North Carolina.
Your kid?
My kid. My youngest.
Oh.
I'm like, where is he? Or maybe it was Asa. I don't know. It was one of the 2 youngest. And I could not find them.
Where were they?
In the ottoman.
In the ottoman?
Yeah, like it was one of those kind that open. You can put your blankets in it.
Yeah.
The kid was in there with the top shut. I mean, I don't even know how I found him, but it was scary. It was scary. Yeah, he was asleep.
Yeah, and that was what Aiden did. So Aiden, my mother-in-law was watching him. I had to go to a doctor's appointment for something, and he was probably 2 at the time. And he fell asleep under a bunch of blankets on all my fur blankets.
Full circle back to the blankets.
On the sofa, and my mother, and that kid could sleep through a train, and so my mother-in-law's screaming for him, can't find him. She was convinced he went out the house. So she calls us and she's like, Aiden's gone. I can't find him. Yeah. She's calling my father-in-law who's in another state, calling him, and she's like, he's gone. I can't find him. And so she's walking up down the street with Avery, calling Aiden. I'm like he's a puppy. Like, he's going to come to you.
Right.
And so Liam and Avery were at Hay CLC, and Miss Mitzi, who was the director there, and Christine Danheim was assistant director. Well, I helped Christine buy a house up the street. So Miss Misty happened to be going to her house to go to something, and they're like, is that Avery walking up and down the street? So they asked my mother-in-law, like, what's going on? She's like, oh, my God, I lost Aiden and stuff. They're like, we'll help you find him. Like, he's got to be somewhere. They found him upstairs, and so underneath all the blankets and stuff. So when my mother-in-law calls Miss Mitzi, he's like, we found him. He's fine. He's just kind of a little confused why everybody's screaming for him.
Yeah.
Like that. He was out cold.
Yeah.
And then he did the same thing to one of our nannies. He fell asleep in my closet. Like, just decided to take a nap in the closet. So it's like, you get to think that you got it down to science one time, where you got to put them in the crib or in their bed to go to sleep. And then you got others that are crashing wherever. Like, yeah. Like borderline, what is it?
Narcolepsy.
Yeah, that's it.
Like,
So, yeah. But the fact that you can catch on to those things. I had a newborn They were twins. And I noticed it was my assistant that picked up on it. And then when I started looking, I was like, yeah, you're right. Anytime we would stick him on his back, his lips would lose color.
Oh.
And so we said, and she was saying that she was having trouble like breastfeeding. And it was like when he was in a certain position, he would get fussy and wouldn't like it. Well, then they ended up doing a study and like he was having trouble getting like oxygen while he was like on his back. And I had to do something with his like lung development and everything. And so, but yeah, I was like, he's totally fine on his tummy. He's totally fine on his side. The minute you stick him on his back, his lips would lose color and stuff. And so she like was appreciative of that and took him to like have a whole study done and stuff. But brand new mom, you know, had twins and was like overwhelmed, you know, which I can't imagine being a mom of multiples at one time.
I know.
Like twins, triplets.
I used to think it would be cool to have twins, but now I'm like, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, especially when they get to an age where they want to be involved in sports and like different sports.
Oh, gosh.
I don't even know how you do that. Like, or like if they're involved in dance or cheer. You know how expensive that is?
Oh, yeah.
That's
and
expensive.
Then going to different things all the time.
Yeah. Like that. Yeah. Divide and conquer, I guess would be your MO.
Probably.
If you could.
I don't know. They might want to do the same things, though. I mean, I guess it depends.
Yeah.
I feel like identical twins might be more wanting to do the same thing than fraternal twins.
Yeah.
Just because their genetics are the same.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I don't know. She was steady.
I bet there's been one done.
I'm sure there's
probably
probably a book.
And there's probably a book.
Probably a book. Experts on twinism.
How my twins didn't like the same things.
Yeah. Well, and then there's a whole group of like, they have all kinds of get-togethers, like social events for twins and like literally national-wide events where like twins get together for conventions and stuff like that.
Did you see where the twins married the twins and each had babies that are genetically the same?
What?
So they would be considered twins?
And weren't they born like in the same day or something like that?
I don't know if it was the same day.
It was close to that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, one twin married one twin, the other twin married the other twin, and then they each had a baby that were genetically the same.
Wow.
Their DNA was the same.
So they're cousins, but they're brothers?
Mm-hmm.
No, but they're like the same.
Yeah.
So
that's weird.
Yeah.
So they're just twins from a different womb, I guess.
So they have the same DNA?
Yeah, I'll have to look this up.
I mean, if one commits a crime, can he get off of it and blame his brother?
No, I think they have the same DNA.
That's wild. How was that?
I don't know. I can't put the science behind this one. I can see twins marrying twins, but I don't know how their babies could be the same DNA.
I don't know. It's wild to me.
Because that only happens when an egg splits.
The nurse in you's coming out.
Yes. I have something in here from nursing school.
When did you get out of nursing?
Oh my gosh. 2010.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just listening to this. It was what? Wow.
They share DNA in the same way siblings share DNA.
Okay.
Oh.
Because their parents share DNA.
Even though they have different parents, they're genetically full siblings.
Wow.
That is crazy.
So there's the twins that marry the twins, and then
wow,
there's their babies.
Oh my gosh, aren't they cute?
This was back in December.
How far apart are they in age?
They look at least a month or two.
Yeah, I would say a couple months.
Yeah. Wow.
That is crazy.
I don't know.
What if they were like, okay, we're going to get pregnant on the same day?
I know.
Like, do they ovulate on the same day? The moms?
So they hope to
Maybe.
be pregnant at the same time when they go for number 2.
Yeah, well, because a lot of times when females spend time together, they sync up.
They do.
So that could be it.
It could.
It's extremely rare, that says here.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
So then if they...
5 months and 19 months.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So, a year.
Yeah.
So if they get pregnant like the next time of the same day and they have the kid on the same day, if they're considered the same DNA as siblings, would then they be like
Twins.
Twins?
I don't know. I guess so.
Like my head can't wrap around
That's
this.
just a lot of information. That's just a lot. Now, would be more weird if they both had twins.
Right? Which
that'd be weird.
don't
All four of them would be the same.
Yeah, because don't twins typically have twins?
So basically, it's
Yeah, or does it skip like a generation?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
I don't know.
I think it has to do with like one of the sides of like, I don't know. Goodness.
Yeah. That is crazy.
That is crazy.
So that is wild that they're cousins, but they share the same.
They're like siblings.
Yeah. So I guess they could donate to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a built-in security blanket.
For sure.
Yeah.
Anybody need some stem cells? Got a whole family of stem cells right there.
Fully advise storing them. It's like a insurance policy you hope you never have to use.
Right.
Yeah. It's like.
So they're like at a bank somewhere?
Yeah, in Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. They said you could go tour like the facility if you want to. I don't know about that.
Are they like frozen?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like in this cryo. Mm-hmm.
You got 2 minutes left on that camera.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. There's a science for you. But apparently they say, like, heaven forbid if one of them gets sick or mom gets sick or dad gets sick, like they could, help save their life and stuff.
Yeah.
So I always tell my in-laws, like, these are your favorite grandkids because they could save your life one day.
Yeah. Mine can't do that.
Yeah.
Unless they donate an organ or something.
Yeah, liver, it can grow again, right? Liver can grow again, right? Is that
Yeah,
one?
you can take a piece of your liver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could save someone's life that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Interesting.
yeah. Well, I'm excited to see whatever your summer plans are, whatever you're going to do.
Yeah.
Once you figure it out.
I'll figure something out.
I'm good at planning trips. Let me know if you need help.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might take you up on that.
Yeah. We took a bomb trip to Costa Rica. It was the best.
Ooh, I love Costa Rica.
Yes.
I went once in college.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Might be time to go back. Take the
I
kids.
know.
Now you got one in college.
I have thought about it.
Okay.
I have thought about it. I need to finish getting everyone's passports so we can do out of the country stuff.
Yeah.
2 of the girls have their passports and then the younger 2 don't yet. So I need to work on that.
Well, let's add it to your to-do
Long
list.
Long list.
Well, it was a pleasure having you.
Yes.
You and I are like I said, sisters from another mister. The more I get to know you.
For sure. It's
So-
oddly weird how our bedroom routine
Is the same.
is like the same.
Yeah. So if we have our sleepover, it's like, easy peasy.
We're good.
Yeah.
Shower, heated blanket, bed. Oh, eye massager.
Yes, eye massager.
I think now I want to charge mine up because I haven't used it in a while.
I haven't used mine in a while either.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you have a red light therapy mask too?
I don't.
Oh, you need to add that to your bucket list.
Okay.
Get on Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Make
kinda
her a
look
wish
some
list.
out of a movie, but yeah,
Okay.
lights up a
Fine.
red. Yeah, I don't know all the benefits of it, but it looks fun, so I wear it.
Yeah.
So
I'm willing to try it. Why not?
Whatever keeps us young, and although I would be up early and you would be sleeping 8 hours, so there would be me sleepwalking or doing something crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the only difference.
I'll sleep through it.
You can sleep for me.
That's true. I can donate some sleep hours.
We can
fine.
figure that out. That is the next solution.
Like if
Have
I just
someone-
stay still long enough,
Yeah,
I will just fall asleep.
Oh,
It
yeah.
doesn't matter how loud or what's happening.
yeah.
Just close my eyes.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Fall
I'm
asleep.
so jealous.
Yeah.
What you take in your life that allows that to happen.
I think I just wear myself out every day
Yeah.
and I'm just tired.
Yeah. See, the more I wear myself out, the more amped up I get. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Uh,
I would take some extra energy from you though.
Okay.
I'll take that.
We'll trade. I'll figure
Yeah.
out how to give you that, and you figure out how to give me sleep.
I've tried to start like walking more in a day.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to hit those 10,000 again.
How I do that.
And today I'm like, oh, I don't know. I might have to go home and walk. See what I'm at.
Oh, you have your Apple Watch? I took mine off before.
Yeah, because I'm at 8,300 steps.
Okay.
So I don't need that many more to get to my 10,000.
Yeah.
You can just walk home.
I could. It's
Come
not
back
far.
and get your car later.
Yeah. Come back.
Come back and get my car in the morning. Excuse me. 6:30. I just need my car back.
Just
walked
get those
home.
extra
Drop
steps.
I walked home.
Got 2,000 more steps in.
I walked home not because I had to, not because of drinks. It's just I
Yeah.
wanted that 10K.
I want that 10K. Yes. That's kind of what's consuming me these days since we're finally getting some nice weather.
Yeah.
Like I have to get out and enjoy it because our time outdoors in Texas is short.
Yes.
And then it's so hot.
It's miserable.
We can't do it anymore. So I'm like, I have the month of March.
Yeah.
To be outside.
Yes.
I'm going to do it.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Well, it was a pleasure having you. We'll do it again.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. We'll have to do it again. We'll have to do like a whole, maybe we'll do it in our pajamas with our blanket and the masks.
And your blanket warmer.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
We learned all about new products today.
Yes. I'll just have like an Amazon Live.
it'll be the real mom's review.
100%.
We're not trying to sell anything. We're not influencers. We just want to give honest opinions about products.
Yeah, we're not AI.
Yeah, we're not AI.
Yeah, not AI. It's the real deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. We won't call ourselves the Real Housewives of Hays County because that's not what I'm getting behind.
That would be some other people I know.
And peacocks.
Yeah.
And peacocks. No go.
I'm sure there is a group that thinks they're the Real Housewives.
Oh, I bet. And I bet you and I know a couple of them. And with that. Well, thanks for coming before I get in trouble.